Live from Spitz Stadium in Lethbridge, Alberta, the Western Canadian Baseball League presents the Lethbridge Bulls and the Sylvan Lake Gulls. Good evening, baseball fans. My name is Dustin Forbes, and this is Lethbridge Bulls baseball on FloCollege. Well, the Bulls enter tonight as one of the hottest teams in the WCBL on this young season after earning their fourth straight victory last night with a 9-5 win over the Energy City Cactus Rats here at Spitz Stadium. The Bulls were led by Carter Clairhaut and Steven Andrechik, who both drove in two, while Liam Matsuzaki led Lethbridge with 3 hits. Seamus Ryan earned the win, going 5 complete, allowing just 3 hits while striking out 8 in the start. The victory for the Bulls improved their record to 4-3 on this season, while extending their winning streak to 4 straight games, the second longest active win streak in the Western Canadian Baseball League, behind the Saskatchewan Berries, who have won their last 6 games. Tonight, the Bulls will look to make it 5 wins in a row as they play the final of a 3-game homestand, welcoming the Sylvan Lake Gulls. The Gulls enter sitting atop the West Division with a 5-3 record on the young season. Sylvan Lake coming off a 12-7 win last night in Okotoks over the Dogs at Siemens Stadium. The win ending a 3-game losing streak for the Gulls as they play the second of 4 straight on the road tonight, looking to maintain their lead atop the West Division. Coming into the contest tonight, sitting just a half game up on these Lethbridge Bulls. It's the first of 8 meetings on the regular season between Lethbridge and Sylvan Lake, and the first of 4 here at Spitz Stadium. It's the Western Canadian Baseball League on FloCollege. We'll send things to field level for opening ceremonies and the national anthem next. The next voice you will hear will be that of public address announcer Brian Janot.
Stadium and the Western Canadian Baseball League. Tonight, it's the Sylvan Lake Gulls versus the Lethbridge Bulls. Tonight's game, we will introduce first the Sylvan Lake batting order and starting lineup. Leading off for Sylvan Lake and playing right field, number 5, Bryce Hampton. Batting second and playing center field, number 38, Sam Baker. Batting third, the catcher, number 35, Junior Garcia. Batting cleanup, designated hitter, number 11, Brock Tiarina. Batting fifth, at third base, number 7, Jaden Flores. Batting in the 6th spot, second baseman, number 2, Brooks Bachman. Batting 7th, at first base, number 18, Matt Brandt. Batting 8th, in left field, number 4, Matty Fung. Batting 9th, the shortstop, number 16, Rowan O'Connor. Starting pitcher for Sylvan Lake is number 43, Noah Zankowicz. Umpires for tonight's game, At the plate is Matt Ben. At first base, Cam Hampton. At third base, Cody Nelson. Now it's time to send it down to field level for the introduction of the Bulls lineup with our game day host, Tony Days.
Oh, thank you very much, Brian. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, how we doing tonight? SATURDAY is game night. How we doing, first base? Oh, they're the quiet bunch. How we doing, grandstand? Saving what's hopefully the best for last. How we doing, third base? Hey, well, in fairness, they are probably grouped closer than anybody else, so that's why they're the loudest. All right, it is Save on Foods Little League night. You're going to see a lot of Little Leaguers running around tonight. I want to say thank you to Save on Foods for sponsoring the Little League and our billet families. But first, we got to rewind to last night's big win versus the Cactus Rats and our Player of the Game award from Sisters Pub. Take it away, Brian.
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight's player of the game for the Bulls from last night's game was the starting pitcher. The starting pitcher, number 14, Seamus Ryan. And Seamus was outstanding on the mound, 5 strong innings, allowing 1 run, 3 hits, 8 strikeouts, and no walks. Congratulations to Seamus, and our thanks to Sisters Pub for our Player of the Game award.
All right, well, Seamus isn't here. I'm pretty sure he's out celebrating his sisters right now. He's just back from Sisters. Let's say hello to everybody's favorite mascot. It is T-Bone. Come on out, T-Bone. Do you believe? Sure do. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here is the starting lineup for your Lethbridge Bulls. Leading up is the shortstop, number 2, J.C. Spinoza. Batting second, the right fielder, number 10, Lee Matsuzaki. Playing first is number 26, Jack Kaliski. Batting cleanup tonight, the second baseman, number 8, Steven Andrejchuk. Batting fifth and playing third is number 15, Will Herner. The left fielder is number 19, Adonis Bernal. Behind the dish, number 17, Drew Bufford. The designated hitter, number 24, Dalen Blanchard. In center field tonight, number 7, Jalen Ryan. And your starting pitcher, number 28, Gavin Allen. Ladies and gentlemen, make it loud for your starting 9. All right, and tonight's national anthem is brought to you by KCL Cattle Company. So at this time, we ask you to please rise if you're able, remove your hats, and join Avery Stetchu in the singing of our national anthem.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command. With glowing hearts we seek the rights, the true north, strong and free. From far and wide
Lethbridge, Alberta is the site. The Lethbridge Bulls, the Sylvan Lake Gulls, the scene. The final of a 3-game homestand for the Lethbridge Bulls. They've won 4 in a row coming into the contest tonight after a 9-5 victory last night over the Energy City Cactus Rats, while the Sylvan Lake Gulls look to keep their lead atop the West Division after a 12-7 victory at Okotoks last night. This, the second of 4 in a row on the road. They ended a 3-game losing streak last night with the victory. This will be the first of 8 meetings on the regular season between the Bulls and the Gulls. Bulls come into the contest tonight half a game back of Sylvan Lake for top spot in the West Division. For the visiting Sylvan Lake Gulls, their batting order leading off will be the right fielder number 5, Bryce Hampton, followed by Simon Baker and Junior Garcia due up here at the top of the first. Following that, Brock Tjerna, it is Jaden Flores, Brooks Bachman, Matt Brandt, Matty Fung, and the shortstop Rowan O'Connor to round things out. Defensively for the Bulls, behind home plate, number 17, Drew Bufford will do the catching. On the corners, Will Turner at third, Jack Kaliski at second. Up the middle, J.C. Spinoza, the shortstop. Steven Andrechik is the second baseman. Left to right is Adonis Bernal, Jalen Ryland, and Lee Matsuzaka. The starting pitcher for the Lethbridge Bulls tonight will be number 28, Gavin Allen, and he comes into the contest today on the year. 1 appearance so far. He took the loss, gave up 4.5 ERA. Struck out 5 in his only appearance this season. That was May 30th in Brooks, a 6-4 loss for the Lethbridge Bulls to the Bombers. And as mentioned, leading off tonight for the Sylvan Lake Gulls will be the right fielder Bryce Hampton, as he'll set in to face the right-hander Gavin Allen to open up this ball game. A somewhat smoky night here at the ballpark in Lethbridge, sitting at 20 degrees Celsius to get things started. And Allen delivers the first pitch strike on the outside corner, and this game underway, 7-10. The first pitch and an 0-1 count for Allen on Hampton. Here's the 0-1 from Allen on the ground, up the middle, and moving to his left was Spinoza, but that'll be a leadoff base hit for Hampton. And the Gulls early have a runner on with a single up the middle, and Simon Baker will come to the plate for the first time, the center fielder for Sylvan Lake. From Cochrane, Alberta, batting .321 this season. As Allen checks the runner, and diving back in safe is Hampton, who had the leadoff single. Allen checks the runner again, set. And the offering, squaring to bunt, was Baker, but pulled it back and took the strike. And an 0-1 count to the center fielder. 8 games this season, 28 at-bats, has struck out 5 times, walked 7. As a fastball off the corner. And a 1-1 count. The officiating crew tonight, the crew is Matt Ben calling balls and strikes behind home plate. Cam Hampton at first, Cody Nelson at third. 3-man crew on this Saturday night as Allen sets and delivers. Fastball cut on and fouled out of play down the left field line. 1-2 count to Baker. Has 9 hits this season. Mentioned the .321 batting average. 2 home runs and 8 RBI on the year. In the 8 games. Off speed upstairs, misses. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Pretty solid crowd on this Saturday here at Spitz Stadium in Lethbridge. Bulls looking to leapfrog the Sylvan Lake Gulls for top spot in the West Division with a victory tonight. Here's a 2-2 and a check to the runner, and diving back in safe is Hampton. Bryce Hampton, the leadoff man this season, has not registered a stolen base to date. Here's a 2-2 from Allen. That one flared down the left field line, drifting foul, and keeps the count at 2 balls, 2 strikes. 7 pitches in the early going for Allen. 6-foot lead for Hampton at first. First baseman is Jack Kaliski tonight for the Bulls. Here's the 2-2 offering, and that one low in the dirt. Runs the count full. 3 balls, 2 strikes to Baker. Allen, 5 strikeouts in his first start. Here's an offering. That one cut on. Fly ball to right. That's going to fall in the gap. Over to get it is Jalen Ryan. He'll get it in quickly, but that'll be a stand-up double for Simon Baker. And runners at third and second for the Gulls here to start the top of the first inning.
Catcher number 35, Junior Garcia.
And Junior Garcia will come to the plate with none out and 2 on to start this game. Gulls ended a 3-game losing streak last night with a convincing win over Okotoks. Here's the first offering, turned on, fly ball left field, drifting back to the wall all the way, and that's going to be grabbed by Bernal. He'll get it in, but a run's going to score from third, as trotting in is Bryce Hampton. And the Gulls open up the scoring 1-0 here at Spitz Stadium in the top of the first inning. And that'll be a sac fly RBI for Garcia. And 1 down, runner still at second. That is Simon Baker. 1-0 Sylvan Lake. Fastball up in the zone, called a strike by Matt Ben, and an 0-1 count to get things started to Brock Tjurna. The designated hitter tonight, lefty. Here's Allen, and a big cut there by Tjurna, and an 0-2 count on the season coming into the contest tonight. Here's a fly ball center field. Ryan shading to his right and brings it in to gone, and the runner will stay at second. So Tjurna goes down on the fly out.
Third baseman, number 7.
To center, and Jaden Flores, the third baseman, will make his way for his first at-bat tonight. Only 1 game so far this season, the Dallas, Texas product. Batting .250. Had a hit, was 1 for 4. Here's a check swing, caught the bat. And so a strike, 0-1. The count to Flores. Hampton has come around to score. He led off with a single up the middle. Simon Baker at second. He doubled. And then a sac fly by Garcia, followed by the fly out of Tjurna. And a fastball here low misses. 1 ball, 1 strike for Gavin Allen. On deck is Brooks Bachman, the second baseman for Sylvan. Allen checks the runner and just belted Jaden Flores, so he'll take a trot down to first on the hit by pitch, and runners at first and second for Brooks Bachman. And a 1-0 Sylvan Lake lead after the leadoff man came around to score. Gavin Allen checks the runner at second. Fastball inside for a strike, going 1. 17 pitches now for Allen here on the top of the first inning. Flores at first. Baker at second. Fastball off the plate. 1-1. Bachman coming into the game. 6 games so far this season, batting .280 for Sylvan Lake. Has 1 home run, 6 RBI. Fastball turned on and lined right to the second baseman, Steven Andrechik, and that'll end the top of the inning, but Sylvan Lake gets a run. The leadoff man comes around to score on a sac fly by Junior Garcia, and Sylvan Lake has first blood here as we go to the bottom of the first inning. You're watching the Lethbridge Bulls the WCBL on FloCollege. A 1-0 lead for the Sylvan Lake Gulls here at Spitz Stadium. My name is Dustin Forbes, and you're watching the WCBL on FloCollege as we go to the bottom of the first inning. And leading things off will be J.C. Spinoza, the shortstop for the Lethbridge Bulls, followed by Lee Matsuzaki and Jack Kaliski due up. Steven Andrechik, Will Turner, and Donis Bernal. Drew Bufford, Dalen Blanchard, and Jalen Ryan are the batting order for the Bulls today. Defensively for the Gulls, doing the catching, number 35, Junior Garcia. On the corners, Jaden Flores at third, Matthew Brandt at first, Rowan O'Connor, Brooks Bachman up the middle, left to right, Matty Fung, Simon Baker, Bryce Hampton in the outfield, and the starting pitcher for the Sylvan Lake Gulls, number 43, Noah Zenkowicz for Sylvan Lake. Zenkowicz coming into the contest tonight, 1-0, a 1.50 ERA, 7 strikeouts in 6 innings of work so far this season, as J.C. Spinoza will set in for the first opportunity. And a first pitch below the knees for a ball, 1-0 to the leadoff man for Lethbridge. A 1-0 Gulls lead after Bryce Hampton came around to score on a sac fly by Junior Garcia in the top of the first inning. As a pitch here off the plate, 2 balls, no strikes early for Spinoza up in the count. .267 batting average for Spinoza so far this year. Here's the 2-0, and that one called strike with a fastball, 2-1. Zenkowicz for Sylvan. His only appearance was back on June 1st. As a fastball here, just off the plate, 3-1. Hitters count for Spinoza. In that start for Zenkowicz, the Grand Prairie product went 6 innings with 7 strikeouts in Fort McMurray, but he's going to surrender a leadoff walk here to Spinoza. And so 1 aboard for the Bulls here in the bottom of the first inning. And for Spinoza, that is his 4th walk of the young season. And Lee Matsuzaki will make his way to the plate for his first at-bat here tonight. With 1 on, 2 home runs for Matsuzaki so far this season in the 7 games that he's dressed. As Zenkowicz sets, and the first pitch is low for a strike, so that's 5 pitches and 4 balls for Zenkowicz in the early going, battling early. Here's the 1-0, and that one off the plate as well for a strike, for a ball rather. Two balls, no strikes. Runner at first, Spinoza. Here's the 2-0. That one flared shallow center. Driving in is Matty Fung, and he'll make the grab 1 away.
First baseman, number 26, Jack Kaliski.
And so Jack Kaliski will make his way to the plate after the flyout for Matsuzaki. 1 on, 1 away. They're going to check the runner. Spinoza steps back. Bulls riding a 4-game winning streak coming into this contest, as a first offering is on the corner for a strike, 0-1. Kaliski, 0-1 count. Zenkiewicz off speed in the air, fly ball to center, backing up is Baker. And a routine grab there, 2 gone. Back-to-back flyouts, 1 to left, 1 to right, and Steven Andrechik will come to the plate. Batting .286 this season is Andrechik. Had a hit and a couple of RBI last night of the win against Energy City. Did Andrechik. 1 on, 2 away here in the bottom of the first. Offering from Zenkiewicz on the ground up the middle. To his left is O'Connor, flipped to second. And in time to retire the Bulls. So the Bulls strand 1, no hits. And a 1-0 lead for the Sylvan Lake Gulls after 1 complete here at Spitz Stadium. You're watching the Lethbridge Bulls and WCBL on FloCollege. A 1-0 lead for the Sylvan Lake Gulls as we head to the top of the second inning here at Spitz Stadium. Dustin Forbes along with you on FloCollege. Bulls in the bottom of the first inning had 1 reach, but then the next 3 retired. And leading off here to start the second for the Sylvan Lake Gulls will be Matt Brandt, followed by Matty Fung and Rowan O'Connor, the bottom of the order, to get things started. And a 1-0 Sylvan Lake lead after Bryce Hampton came around on a sac fly RBI by Junior Garcia in the first inning. And Matt Brandt, the first baseman, will sit in. First pitch from Gavin Allen is low and outside with an off speed, and a 1-0 count to Brandt. Struggling early on the season is Brandt, the Texas product. Here's a fastball missing, 2 balls, no strikes. Brandt coming into the game today. 6 appearances, 14 at-bats, only 1 hit. This one fouled back, and 2-1. Has walked 6 times, does have a home run in his 2 hits, but batting .071 on the young year. As this one up the middle for a base hit. So Brandt will reach on a single up the gut. And that's 2 comebackers to score a base hit to lead off innings after Bryce Hampton did the same to open up the first. And so Matty Fung, the left fielder, will set in with 1 on and none away. Allen fastball turned on, and that's a base hit back to center, and 2 aboard here to open up the second back-to-back singles. And Brandt advances to second. And now the bottom of the order, Rowan O'Connor, the shortstop. Already a runner in scoring position. Gulls leading 1-0 here in the top of the second inning. Gavin Allen through 19 pitches in the first inning. 5 so far in the second. Checks the runner. Fastball. Low for a ball, 1-0. Doing the catching tonight, Drew Bufford for the Lethbridge Bulls. Settling Gavin Allen as he sets and readies. Allen, the offering, off speed upstairs, misses 2 balls, no strikes. Fung looking for his first hit of the season. 1 walk, has struck out twice. 2-0, fastball on the corner for a strike, 2 balls and a strike. That was a good pitch by Allen. Try and work back in the count, 2-1. Branch at second, Fung at first, and at the dish is O'Connor. O'Connor having a nice year so far, .320 batting average. 1 home run, 6 RBI. This one flared and drifting out of play. And a foul ball evens the count, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the 2-2, fastball, low, runs the count full. 3 balls, 2 strikes to the 9-hitter, Rowan O'Connor. Has struck out 5 times this season in the 7 games that he's played. Here's the 3-2, strike 3 called. Took a breaking ball on the inside corner. And 1 away here, first strikeout of the night for Gavin Allen, and 1 away, and back to the top of the order. And a strikeout looking for Rowan O'Connor, and so back to the top of the order, Bryce Hampton, the right fielder. Turned on the ground and pulled foul down the third base line. Allen for the Bulls this season. That is his 6th strikeout in his 2nd appearance. Fastball off the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike. Hampton for Sylvan, the right fielder. Singled and scored in the first. Here's the 1-1, and that one in the dirt. Good block by Drew Bufford to keep it in front of him. Keeps the runners at first and second. Hampton batting .400 this season. (2-1) and a big cut there by Hampton. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Good fastball by Allen to get it by him. A single of Brandt, a single of Fung, followed by a strikeout of O'Connor. 2 on, 1 away. Fastball upstairs, misses, and another full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Got O'Connor looking on a breaking ball with a full count with the last batter. See what Allen offers here. Tried to do the same thing but missed, and that'll be a base on balls, and so the bases are loaded with 1 away for Simon Baker. First walk of the night for Allen. And so Baker will set in, batting .321 this season. First pitch upstairs and outside for a ball, 1-0. Baker from Cochrane, Alberta, attends Gonzaga University in Spokane, Washington. .321 average this year, 2 home runs and a swing and a miss there. On a fastball, 1-1 the count. Bases loaded for Baker. With Brandt at third, Fung at second, and Bryce Hampton with the walk at first. 1-1 pitch, and that one off the plate for a ball. 2-1 count now. 40 pitches for Allen. Here in the top of the second inning in a 1-0 Sylvan Lake lead. We're going to blow it open. On the ground and past the first baseman, Kaliski. One will score as in comes Brandt, followed by Fung, and he'll get the stop sign, stays at third, so a RBI single for Simon Baker, and it's 2-0 for Sylvan Lake. As he pulled it past the first baseman and picks up the RBI. That is his 9th RBI of the season. And now a conversation on the mound with Cam Allen. So in both the first and the second inning, a leadoff single up the middle has proven to cost the Bulls a run. In the first, it was Bryce Hampton who came around to score. And here in the second, it was Matt Brandt. And still the bases loaded with one away for Junior Garcia, who has an RBI in this game already via sac fly. Fastball and a swing and a miss there by Garcia, 0-1. Brock Tiarina is on deck. He flew out in the first. Here's a fastball and a good grab by Bufford on one low and outside in the dirt. 1 ball, 1 strike. Garcia with the RBI in the first inning. Picked up his second ribby of the season as he takes a strike here, 1-2. 44 pitches now for Allen with some activity in the Lethbridge bullpen out at left field. Here's the 1-2 in the dirt, and a good hold by Bufford. Good watch by Garcia. Even count, 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2-2 from Allen. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. 2 strikeouts now for Allen, both in this inning, as he retires the second. And up will come Brock Tiarina, the designated hitter, 0 for 1 on the night. With the bases loaded, 2 gone, and a 2-0 lead for the Gulls. First offering, and a fastball just missed on the outside. 1 ball, no strikes to Allen, the right-hander. Product of Martinsburg. Here's a high fastball and a swing and a miss. 1-1 to number 11, Tiarina. Product of Andrews, Texas. This one inside, and that's a ball. 2-1 now the count for Gavin Allen. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Off speed upstairs, misses 3 balls and a strike. And a green light here for Tiarina. If it's a good pitch with the bases loaded and a 3-1 count, 50 pitches now for Allen in an inning and 2/3. Here's the 3-1 off speed upstairs, and that's going to be a walk, and a run's going to come in to score. And it's 3-0 for Sylvan Lake, as Matty Fung will trot in. So everybody works forward. Hampton to third, Baker to second, and the base on balls for Tiarina to first. And the bases loaded with 2 away for Jaden Flores. here in the extended second. Here's a first pitch cut on. That's going to drop for a base hit. 1 run scores. In comes a second, and the Gulls have blown it open, and it's 5-0. A 2 RBI single for Jaden Flores. And the Bulls in a big deficit. 4 runs surrendered here in the top of the second. And they've batted around as up will come Brooks Bachman. Allen, first pitch, strike, 0-1. Brandt, the leadoff man, followed by Fung, Hampton, and Baker have all come around to score here in the top of the second inning. And a big lead early. Here's a ground ball to the second baseman, and it got by Andrechik. Rolls into right field, and a run's going to score, make it 6-0. And an error there to Steven Andrechik.
First baseman, number 18, Matt Brandt.
And so back to the top of the order as Brandt steps in for the second time in this inning. And a runner at third. First pitch and a fastball on the corner for a strike. Brandt singled and scored to lead off this inning, the 10th batter of the top of the second for Sylvan Lake. 9 batters previous, 5 have come in to score. 6-0 is a flare back, and that one drifting foul and out of play. .56 pitches now for Allen. 37 here in this inning alone. Runner going to second, and Bufford will hold. And trotting down is Brooks Bachman, so runners at second and third. One-two pitch outside. Evens the count. 2 balls and a strike. A 5-run second for Sylvan Lake. 2-2. Fly ball left field. Drifting to his left is Bernal, and he'll make the catch and mercifully end the top of the second inning. But 5 runs cash for Sylvan Lake, and they lead it big, 6-0, as we go to the bottom of the second here at Spitz Stadium. You're watching the Lethbridge Bulls and WCBL on FloCollege. A 6-0 lead for the Sylvan Lake Gulls as we go to the bottom of the second inning. And the Bulls looking to try and dig into the Sylvan Lake lead here at Spitz Stadium after a massive top of second inning for Sylvan Lake. A 5-run inning, and leading things off here to open up the second for the Bulls is Will Turner, who takes a first pitch ball from Zenkowicz. Turner, the third baseman, takes a fastball for a strike. 1-1. Turner this season batting .286 for the Bulls in 3 appearances. 1 home run, 4 RBI. Here's the 1-1, and that one in the dirt skips in for a ball. 2 balls and a strike. Bulls had a leadoff walk to Spinoza in the bottom of the second, and then the next 3 were retired by Zenkiewicz. And a fastball cut on, fouled in the dirt. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Turner last night went 1 for 5 with a run, had the home run and an RBI, struck out 3 times in the victory to Energy City. Here's the 2-2 upstairs. That runs the count full. 3 balls, 2 strikes to Will Turner. Adonis Bernal and Drew Bufford also due up in this bottom of the second. Here's the 3-2, and that one inside for a leadoff walk. And for the second inning in a row, Zenkiewicz issues a walk to open things up. Bulls still looking for their first hit of the ballgame. And Adonis Bernal will look to do so, the right fielder. Second season with the Bulls, had a .291 batting average last year in 45 games. First pitch called strike. Looked outside, close call, but Matt Ben says it caught the zone. 0-1 for Zenkiewicz. Off speed, and that one outside for a ball. 1-1. Bernal this season, just the 2 appearances, 8 at-bats, 1 hit, 1 strikeout, batting .125 on the young year. Here's the 1-1, and that one inside for a ball. 2 balls and a strike. 20 pitches now for Zenkiewicz. Leadoff man aboard via walk. And they're going to check the runner, and diving back in safe is Will Turner. Turner, no stolen bases so far this season. Freshman from PBA out of Calgary. Here's the 2-1 outside. 3 balls, 1 strike to Adonis. A 6-0 Gulls lead. Had 1 run in the first 5 in the top of this second inning. Bulls looking to try and answer back. 3-1 pitch upstairs, and back-to-back walks to open up the second. 3 walks for Zenkiewicz. Has not surrendered the hit, but they're going to have a conversation on the mound here. With runners at first and second, Drew Bufford, the catcher, now will set in. And Matt Ben will make his way out to the mound to speed up the conversation. So Bufford will set in, sporting the baby blue bat and baby blue batting gloves as well for the Bulls catcher.
Catcher number 17, Drew Bufford.
.211 average this season in the 5 games. This is his 20th at-bat of the year. And a big opportunity to try and get the Bulls on the board. First pitch strike in for an 0-1 count. Leadoff walk to Will Turner, a walk for Adonis Bernal, runners at first and second. Bufford stands in, 0-1 pitch turned on and flared foul down the right field line. 0-2 count. Dallin Blanchard, the designated hitter, on deck. 0-2 count for Noah Zenkiewicz. There's the offering. Fastball low for a ball, 1-2. Fastball below the knees there from the lefty. Bufford last night, 1 for 4, had an RBI, struck out once against the Cactus Rats. Here's the 1-2, cut on and missed. And the first strikeout of the night for Zenkowicz, and one down.
Designated hitter number 24, Dalen Blanchard.
And so Dalen Blanchard will step in with 2 on and 1 away here in the bottom of the second inning. And Lethbridge trailing 6-0 in the early going. First pitch, cut on and missed. Strike 1. When you see the score 6-0, you think, well, might be Sylvan Lake's night, but in 10 years watching this league, 6-0 deficit has been erased many a time in this ballpark. Here's the 0-1 and a fastball on the outside corner for a strike, 0-2. So Zenkowicz in the driver's seat here against Dalen Blanchard. Blanchard batting .421 this year in 5 games. Fouls this one back to stay alive. Three balls, 1 strikeout. 2 flyouts and a groundout induced tonight by Noah Zenkowicz. Oh, 0-2 pitch, fastball, cut on and miss, strike 2. Foul tip, strike. And 2 down, back-to-back punch-outs for Zenkowicz.
Yeah. Center fielder number 7.
And now Jalen Ryan will step in for his first at-bat. The number 9 hitter for the Bulls with 2 on, 2 away. Bulls looking for their first hit of the night. Fastball. And that one outside for a ball. 1-0 count to Jalen Ryan, the center fielder. Jalen from El Paso, Texas, batting .217 this season. This one in the air, shallow left field, driving in and making the grab is Matty Fung. So Zenkowicz walks the first 2, but gets the next 3. And the Bulls trail by a 6-0 score after 2 complete here at Spitz Stadium. You're watching the Lethbridge Bulls in the WCBL on FloCollege. A new pitcher for the Lethbridge Bulls to open up the top of the 3rd inning with Lethbridge trailing 6-0 after 2 complete, and it will be Brett Getz out of the bullpen for Lethbridge after Gavin Allen gave up 6 runs in the first 2. And so the Medicine Hat Alberta product, Getz, will come into the game here to open up the 3rd, and this will be his 2nd appearance of the season through 4 1/3 in a 10-7 loss at Okotoks back on June 1st, and he'll be tasked with Matty Fung to open up the third inning after a bat around second, which produced 5 runs for Sylvan Lake. And so the lefty gets against the lefty Fung, and Fung squares to bunt, takes it back, but a strike anyway, 0-1 count. Fung singled and scored last inning at a single to center. Here's the 0-1 upstairs with a fastball, 1 ball, 1 strike. Fung for Sylvan Lake this season, batting for the 14th time at his first hit last inning on the year. And this one tips over the screen, 1 ball, 2 strikes to the leadoff man. Due up, Fung, followed by Rowan O'Connor. In the top of the order, Bryce Hampton here in the third. First of 2 in a row between the Bulls and the Gulls. They'll face off in Oyen tomorrow as a fly ball left field. And Adonis will settle under that. Bernal makes the catch. 1 away here in the top of the third inning.
Number 16, Rowan O'Connor.
And so Rowan O'Connor, 1 appearance tonight, struck out looking back in the second inning, will settle in for the second time. Fastball misses off the plate outside for a ball, 1-0 to Rowan O'Connor. 320 batting average coming into the contest tonight as this one cut on, fly ball drifting, and that one out of play and into the kids area down the right field line. And a 1 ball, 1 strike count for the Sylvan Lake shortstop. One fastball, strike called, 1-2. Allen had 2 strikeouts for the Bulls, and this the first strikeout for the new pitcher Brett Getz. 2 up, 2 down.
Right fielder, number 5, Bryce Hampton.
And the third strikeout of the night for the Bulls staff, and will come Bryce Hampton for the third time. Singled and scored in the first, walked and scored in the second. First pitch, fastball upstairs, misses for a ball, 1-0. Hampton 4 RBI this season as he takes another fastball. This one misses. 2 balls and a strike. That one just above the plate. Hampton batting .400, the Bozeman, Montana product. Goes to Washington State University as he fouls this one back. And a 2-1 count to the right fielder. This is the first relief performance for Getz on this season. The only other performance, the appearance back on June the 1st in Okotoks, was a start for him as a foul ball here evens the count 2-2. In that game against Okotoks, Getz went 4 1/3, gave up 5 hits, 5 runs, walked 4, struck out 3. Here's the 2-2. And that just off the plate runs the count to full. 3 balls, 2 strikes for the Sylvan Lake leadoff man. Gets ready, fastball, swing and a miss, strike 3. Gets them in order. 1, 2, 3 in back-to-back punch-outs. 6-0. Sylvan Lake leads here as we go to the bottom of the third from Spitz Stadium. You're watching the Lethbridge Bulls of the WCBL on FloCollege. Bottom of the third inning we go here at Spitz Stadium, and a 6-0 lead for the Sylvan Lake Gulls, but the Gulls went in order in the top of the third, and the Bulls now will look to put together some runs, still looking for their first hit of the ball game. As it's the top of the order, J.C. Spinoza, followed by Lee Matsuzaki and Jack Kaliski, due up here in the bottom of the third inning. Spinoza, in his first appearance, walked to lead off the bottom of the first inning as Noah Zenkowicz settles and readies. First pitch, turned on, base hit. Spinoza pulls it to left. He'll turn, cuts his way to second, but gets the stop sign and a leadoff single. And the Bulls in business with their first hit of the ball game. Pulled that one on the ground past the third baseman, Jaden Flores. And so Lee Matsuzaki will step in with a runner on. And the Bulls, having gotten a hit off of Zenkowicz, who was very tidy through 2. First offering to Matsuzaki, and off the plate with a fastball 1-0. Matsuzaki flew out to left in the first inning, 0 for 1. Here's the 1-0, and that one in the dirt. Good knockdown by Junior Garcia. Spinoza stays at first after the leadoff single. Matsuzaki, .375 batting average this season. 2 home runs and 5 ribbies, 12 hits on the year. Here's the 2-0, and that one off the plate outside. So a 3-0 count for Matsuzaki. The Honolulu, Hawaii product goes to Southern Arkansas University. Here's the 3-0 upstairs, and that'll be a walk. 4th walk of the night for Zenkowicz, and the first 2 in this inning aboard for the Bulls as Jack Kaliski will make his way to the plate. Batting .258 this season, but 0 for 1 on the day. Flew out to center in the first inning. Runners at first and second, none away here in the bottom of the third. Zenkowicz readies, and a fastball at the knees, called strike 0-1. Kaliski in his 3rd season with the Bulls had a .266 batting average in 2023, had a .307 last year for Lethbridge. 0-1 count, off speed, misses upstairs, evens at 1-1. On deck is Andrachik. He had 2 ribbies last night. Kaliski trying to get the Bulls on the board here with a runner in scoring position. Spinoza at second. Here's a fastball inside for a ball, 2-1. Final of a 3-game homestand for Lethbridge. They'll be the home team tomorrow, but that game will be played in Oyen on an off-site game between these two. Here's the 2-1 inside for a ball, and there's going to be a conversation here between Junior Garcia and Noah Zenkowicz, the left-hander. And it looks like a bit of a stir starting, at least in the Sylvan Lake bullpen out at right field. Kaliski, 1 home run this season, has 2 RBI. 3-1 count on Zenkowicz. None away with runners at first and second. Here's the 3-1 fastball, and that one below the knees. Back-to-back walks, so the bases are loaded. And up to the plate will come Steven Andricek. And so Andricek, who's 0 for 1 today, will look to somehow get a run in, be it sac fly, sac bunt, perhaps. That would be unlikely. You would love a grand slam. Here's the first offering, and that one upstairs almost caught him. That would have got a run in, of course, with the bases loaded, none away. Here in the bottom of the third inning with the Bulls down big, 6-0. 1-0 count, and a fastball looked like it caught the corner for a strike, 1-1. Andricek this season batting .286, couple of RBI, both coming last night in the win against Energy City. Here's the 1-1 from Zenkowicz, turned on, and that one pulled to left. 1 run scores, getting the wave around and coming in to score is Matt Sasaki. And the Bulls score twice and get on the board. And a 2 RBI single for Steven Andricek. And for the second straight night, a couple of ribbies.
Third baseman number 15, Will Turner.
Spinoza and Matt Sasaki came in to score. Kaliski got to second, and now Will Turner stands in with the Bulls in business. None away here in the bottom third. Turner cuts on the first pitch, fly ball to center. Drifting back at the track and making the grab is Simon Baker. Kaliski tags, heading to third, and he's in just in time, safe as the runner advances. One down here in the bottom of the third inning. And Adonis Bernal will step in. A 6-2 ball game. Gulls scored the first 6 runs, and 1 in the first, 5 in the second. Bulls with 2 here in the bottom of the third. And Adonis will stand in with runners on the corners, and 1 away. Zenkowicz, the lefty, readies. Pitch number 47, turned on, ground ball to short, flipped to second for 1, relay to first, in time, double play. A 6-4-3. As O'Connor to Bachman, he'll flip it over to Brandt, and the Bulls retired, but they get 2 on an RBI, 2 RBI single for Steven Andricek. And after 3 complete, it's Sylvan Lake 6, Lethbridge 2. You're watching the Lethbridge Bulls of the WCBL on FloCollege. A 6-2 lead for the Sylvan Lake Gulls as we go to the top of the 4th inning here at Spitz Stadium on a busy night in the Western Canadian Baseball League. Take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard on this Saturday. Other scores, including 5 other games. Medicine Hat leading Weyburn 1-0 bottom of the 4th. In the top of the 4th, it's Saskatoon 2, Swift Current, tough start to the season, down 2-1. Brooks leading Moose Jaw 2-0. Okotoks 3, Energy City 1. And a big lead for Fort McMurray, 5-0, top of the second inning. That one in Regina. Red Sox welcoming the Giants as we go to the top of the fourth inning. And Simon Baker, the center fielder, stands in to face Getz for the first time. And a strike, 0-1. Baker coming into the game today, having a nice season. And he's 2 for 2 on the night tonight, batting .321 coming in. Had a double in the first, RBI single, and then scored in the second. But he's got an even count here, 1-1. First pitch was a strike, followed by an outside ball for Getz. Here's an offering, and that one outside, just missing the corner. 2 balls, 1 strike. Baker followed by Junior Garcia and Brock Tiarina due up here in the fourth inning. This one popped up, fly ball, shallow right field. Driving in is Matt Sasaki, and he'll make the grab, 1 away here in the fourth. Getz has retired all 4 batters since coming into this ball game. And the Bulls, as a staff, have retired the last 5. As Junior Garcia comes to the plate. RBI sac fly in the first, had a strikeout in the second in his first 2 trips to the plate. Fastball upstairs, catches the zone for a strike, 0-1. Good pitch there from Brett Getz. Came in to the game to open up the third after Gavin Allen got the start, went just 2 innings. This one low for a ball, 1-1. The count now for Getz. Garcia, the catcher for Sylvan Lake. Here's the 1-1, slapped to right. Backtracking is Matt Sasaki all the way to the wall, and he makes the grab at the warning track. Allowed out number 2 here in the fourth. And back-to-back grabs by Matt Sasaki, 1 shallow, 1 deep. And up comes Brock Tiarina for the 3rd time. 6 straight retired by the Bulls. 5 straight by Brett Getz. 21 pitches in relief to this point for Brett as he sets to face Tiarina for the first time. The designated hitter takes a ball upstairs, 1-0. Tiarina flew out in the first. He reached via walk in the second, came around to score in that 5-run second inning for Sylvan Lake. Fastball off the corner outside, 2-0. The count now for Getz. This one flared out of play for a foul ball, 2-1. Getz looking fresh on the mound after 5 days off between appearances. Here's the 2-1, fastball on the ground, up the middle, charging to his right is Andrechik, flips it back, and the Bulls get the Gulls in order on a great play by Steven Andrechik. Hard throw across his body. Koliski made the grab, and for the second straight inning, the Gulls go in order. We'll go to the bottom of the fourth with Sylvan Lake in front 6-2. This is the WCBL and the Lethbridge Bulls on FloCollege. Bottom of the order we go for the Lethbridge Bulls. The 7, 8, 9 hitters due up here in the bottom of the 4th inning in a 6-2 Sylvan Lake lead. My name is Dustin Forbes. Thanks for joining us on your Saturday night on FloCollege. Bulls, 2 runs in the 3rd, look to continue the momentum into the 4th as Drew Bufford stands in for the first time and takes a strike going 1. Bufford struck out in his first time up. That was back in the 2nd inning, 0 for 1 on the day, as Noah Zankowicz remains on the mound for the Gulls. Off speed, cut on, and that one missed. 0-2 quickly to Bufford. Drew this season has struck out 5 times, including the one tonight. Here's the 0-2 inside. That a ball, 1-2 now the count to Bufford. The catcher from Little Elm, Texas, goes to Eastern Arizona College. He's a freshman, batting .211 this season. 1-2 flared and tapped all the way out to the right field kids area. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Zankowicz ready. Here's the offering, off speed, fly ball right field. In comes Hampton by 5 steps, and that is the first out of the 4th inning as Bufford goes down. And Dalen Blanchard, the designated hitter, will step in. He's 0 for 1 today with a strikeout. Bulls scored 2 runs in the 3rd. J.C. Spinoza and Lee Matsuzaki came around to score on a 2 RBI single for Steven Andrechik as a first pitch to Blanchard is upstairs for a ball, 1-0. And an inning-ending 6-4-3 double play for Sylvan Lake. Stranded a couple as an offering here outside low and away. 2 balls, no strikes to Dalen Blanchard. Ryan is on deck for Lethbridge. Here's Zankowicz with the offering, and that one low for a ball. 3-0 count now to Blanchard. Blanchard, 55 pitches to this point here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Here's the 3-0 fastball down the pipe for a strike, 3-1. Take all day on a 3-0 count. Blanchard now a 3-1. Here's the offering, and that one outside, and that'll be a walk for the Bulls and a runner on for Jalen Ryan as Blanchard tracks down to first. 6th walk of the night for Zankowicz. And Jalen Ryan, who ended the 2nd 0 for 1 with a fly out to left, will stand in for the 2nd time. With a runner on, off speed, fouled back, 0-1 count to Jalen Ryan. Ryan this season batting .217. Was 1 for 4 last night. Couple of runs, a walk as well, as this one popped up, drifting out of play down the right field line, and a quick 0-2 count on a couple of foul balls. Ryan, 2 RBIs this season. They came in the same game back on June 3rd in a 6-0 win against Okotoks. That night he went 2 for 3. Had a double in that game as well, as he takes a pitch down and in the dirt. 1 ball, 2 strikes to the Bulls center fielder. There's the 1-2 on the ground to third, and it gets by Flores. Base hit for Jalen Ryan, and the Bulls have 2 on here in the bottom of the 4th.
Shortstop, number 2, JC
That's a hard ground ball to third, and Blanchard will go to second on the single. And back to the top of the order, J.C. Spinoza will stand in now. He is 1-1, 1 for 1, I should say, with a walk tonight. Singled and scored back in the 3rd, walked in the 1st to lead off the bottom of the opening inning. Spinoza readies. First offering is a fastball, and a good frame job there by Junior Garcia to get the strike going 1. Pitch count getting up there now for Zenkiewicz, over 60. Some action in the bullpen for the Gulls. Zenkiewicz checks the runner, offering, swing and a miss by Spinoza. And an 0-2 count here to the Bulls shortstop. That was a good fastball in the zone that Spinoza had eyes on, but turned over top of it. Runners at first and second. 1 away here in the bottom of the 4th inning. A 6-2 Sylvan Lake lead. Zenkiewicz readies. Fastball cut on and missed. And that's a strikeout for Zenkiewicz. His 3rd of the night. And 2 away. And Lee Matsuzaki will come to the plate with 2 on and 2 away. Matsuzaki 0 for 1 with a walk tonight. First offering, and an off-speed pitch upstairs misses. 1-0 count to the Bulls right fielder. Flew out in the 1st, walked and scored in the 3rd. 3rd at-bat of the game here. 1-0, cut on and fouled back. 1 ball, 1 strike. Matsuzaka, .375 average coming into the game today. A couple of home runs. 5 RBI on the year. Here's the 1-1 pitch, and that one in the dirt. Good take by Matsuzaki. 2 balls and a strike. A walk by Blanchard. He's at second. A single by Jalen Ryan. He's at first. Here's a 2-1 pitch, and that one just missed. 3 balls, 1 strike. Zenkiewicz readies. 3-1 count. Here's the pitch in the dirt. That'll be a walk for Matsuzaki. And another walk for Zenkiewicz. And the base is loaded now for Jack Kaliski.
First baseman, number 26, Jack Kaliski.
And a huge opportunity here for the Bulls. And it looks like perhaps Sylvan Lake is going to make a pitching change as Zenkiewicz, his night will come to an end. He goes 3 2/3, 69 pitches. And his night over. And a new pitcher for Sylvan Lake will come in to the ball game with the bases loaded. Talk about a tough spot. Jack Kaliski, the batter, due up. And the bases loaded with 2 gone here in the bottom of the 4th inning at a 6-2 Sylvan Lake lead. Kaliski on the season as he waits for the new pitcher. Will stand in, has a home run, 2 RBI this season, 258 average for Jack. Who also pitches for the Bulls as well. Had 19 appearances last year with the Bulls. Has not been on the mound so far this season. Threw 3 times in the playoffs last year for Lethbridge. And the right-hander for Sylvan Lake
Pitching change for Sylvan Lake. Now the game pitching, number 19.
is number 19, Matthew McKenzie. So McKenzie comes into the game in relief of Zankowicz, as he will inherit a tough spot, an opportunity for Kaliski with one swing of the bat to tie this game. And Matthew McKenzie comes into the game today, 1 appearance this season. It was back on June 1st in Fort McMurray, pitched 2 innings. Got the win in a 9-2 triumph over the Fort McMurray Giants. And Kaliski will make his way to the mound.
Bases are FOB for the Bulls. And another.
And Kaliski will face McKenzie here with the bases juiced. Blanchard is at third. He reached on a walk. A single for Ryan. He's at second, and a walk for Matt Sasaki. He's at first. And a first pitch swing and a miss by Kaliski. 0-1 for McKenzie. Kaliski mentioned this season batting .258. He had a .307 last year as he cuts on this one and fouls it into the dirt. And a quick 0-2 count for McKenzie out of the bullpen. As Kaliski, all eyes on a home run here to what would be a tie game. Now he's going to have to choke up a little bit here down on the count. No balls, 2 strikes. McKenzie readies. This one turned on. Fly ball right field. That falls for a base hit. 1 run scores. It will come to second as Ryan trots in. And a 2 RBI single for Jack Kaliski cuts the lead to 2. It's 6-4 for Sylvan Lake. Good contact by Kaliski on an 0-2 count. And he slapped it to right field. And picks up a couple of RBI. And Lethbridge has cut the deficit from 6-0 to 6-4. After 2 runs in the third, 2 more here in the fourth. And a first offering here to Steven Andrachik is taken for a ball, 1-0. Runner 90 feet away from making it a 1-run game. At third is Matt Sasaki as a fastball here misses inside from Matthew McKenzie. Blanchard came in to score. So too did Jalen Ryan on that base hit by Kaliski. Here's the 2-0, slapped foul down the right field line and out of play. Andrachik is 1 for 2 today, had a 2 RBI single in the third after grounding out to end the first. This one popped up shallow center, driving in is Baker, and that's gonna fall for a base hit. A run scores, and it's a 1-run game. 3 RBI on the night for Andrachik, and that was a little loop single into center. And the Bulls have scored 3 runs here in the fourth. And Will Turner will come to the plate. Good hustle by Kaliski. He went corner to corner on the play. And so the tying run now 90 feet away. First pitch, fly ball Drifting back is O'Connor, the shortstop, and he'll make the grab. So one gets stranded, but the Bulls score 3. And it's a one-run game after 4 complete here at Spitz Stadium. 6-5, Sylvan Lake leads, 4 completed from Lethbridge. You're watching the Lethbridge Bulls and the WCBL on FloCollege. A one-run game here at Spitz Stadium in Lethbridge, a 6-5 lead for the Sylvan Lake Gulls, who will send up the middle of the batting order here to open up the top of the 5th inning. Sylvan Lake had 1 run in the first, scored 5 in the second, none in the third, none in the fourth. Lethbridge, none in the first or second, 2 runs in the third, 3 in the bottom of the 4th inning, has it a 1-run game as Brett Getz will take on Jaden Flores, and a first pitch popped up, and that one drifting over the mesh and out of play. Flores followed by Brooks Bachman and Matt Brandt due up here in the 5th for Sylvan Lake. Sylvan coming into the game today, 5-3 record, Lethbridge 4-3. Here's the 0-1, and that one popped up, shallow center. In comes the right fielder, Matsuzaki, and he'll make the grab. 1 down on the fly out to right. And that is 7 straight retired by Getz out of the bullpen. That's 8 straight retired for Sylvan Lake, going back to the end of the 2nd inning where they batted around through 10 batters to the plate in the 2nd inning. Getz first offering, fastball upstairs, misses to Brooks Bachman. Bachman 0 for 1, reached on an error his last time up. Here's the 1-0, fastball in there for a strike, 1-1. Getz has thrown a gem so far out of the bullpen. The left-hander. Fastball outside corner for a strike. Getz from Medicine Hat. Goes to Eastern Arizona, was a freshman. Here's the 1-2. Off speed upstairs, misses, evens the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes. This is the first of 8 meetings on the season between the Bulls and the Gulls. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 8 straight retired by Getz out of the bullpen. And 2 down here in the top of the 5th. And that is the 2nd strikeout for Getz, 4th for the Bulls in this game. And now Matt Brandt steps in. Fastball for a strike, 0-1. Brandt is 1 for 2, singled and scored to lead off the 2nd, then flew out to close the 2nd. Here's the 0-1, and a fastball upstairs misses. 1 ball, 1 strike. For Brandt this season, batting .071 coming in, but a base hit here will fall at center. Charging to his left is Jalen Ryan to get it in quickly. And that will end the run of 8 straight retired by Getz and 9 straight retired by the Bulls.
Left fielder number 4.
As a base hit there for Matt Brandt, and so Matty Fung will come to the plate for the 3rd time. With 1 on, 2 away here in the top of the 5th. Getz with a fastball, fouled back to the screen, 0-1. Fung tonight, 1 for 2. Here's the 0-1. Good pitch by Getz on the inside for a strike, 0-2. Fung singled and scored in the 2nd. He flew out to open up the 3rd inning. Down in the count, 0-2 here on the 5th. Getz pitches, and that one upstairs. 1 ball and 2 strikes for Getz. Getz waiting for the sign. Runner at first, he'll look into the windup and gets the call on the outside corner. What a pitch by Getz. His 3rd strikeout of the night, 5th for the Bulls. And Sylvan Lake strands a runner. And 5 after the top of 5. It is Sylvan Lake 6 and Lethbridge 5. The Bulls to the sticks, bottom of the 5th when we come back. You're watching the Lethbridge Bulls of the WCBL on FloCollege. Bottom of the 5th here at Spitz Stadium, and a 1-run ball game here in Lethbridge, with Sylvan Lake leading the Lethbridge Bulls by a 6-5 score as we go to the bottom of the 5th inning. And Matthew McKenzie, who came in relief in the 4th, through 8 pitches, will get set to take on Adonis Bernal, followed by Drew Bufford and Dallin Blanchard due up here in the bottom of the 5th. It's been a seesaw game. Gulls were good in the first 2 innings, 1 run in the first, 5 in the 2nd. Bulls, 2 runs in the 3rd, 3 in the 4th, and that sets us up for the 6-5 score as we get ready for the bottom of the 5th inning, and Matthew McKenzie to take on Adonis Bernal, and a first pitch pulled to the Bulls dugout. And an 0-1 count. Bernal is 0 for 1 with a walk today. McKenzie readies, fastball, and did he check? No. Appeal? No appeal. Called strike by Matt Ben, the home plate umpire. The umpires for tonight, Matt Ben calling balls and strikes, Cam Hampton at first, Cody Nelson at 3rd. Here's the 0-2, and that one hit him. Did it hit him? It caught something, either bat or helmet. And I think it got him in the helmet. And a slow walk for Adonis. Down to first. Try and shake out the cobwebs after that. Hit by pitch. Some high heat getting him in the lid. And that one just got away from Matthew McKenzie.
Catcher number 17, Drew Bufford.
And so 1 on for Drew Bufford. He's 0 for 2 tonight. The Bulls catcher, and he'll change the bat. Had the baby blue bat for his first two at bats. And a black one here as he swings over a low fastball for a strike 0-1. So Bufford trying to change the luck with the 0-2 start to this game. Batting .211 coming into the contest tonight. Here's the 0-1, and that one outside for a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike to Bufford. Leadoff man aboard, Adonis Bernal on the hit by pitch. And a 1-1 count here for McKenzie. A 6-5 game. Offering in the dirt, and a good job by Garcia to hold it, and the appeal, and a wave out by Cam Hampton. So 2 balls and a strike to the Bulls catcher. Here's the 2-1 offering in the dirt. 3 balls and a strike now for Bufford. Blanchard on deck, the designated hitter. None away here in the bottom of the 5th. 6-5 game. Here's a ground ball to the shortstop. Good scoop there to second for 1, and they'll hold on the fielder's choice. And 1 away here as Bernal gets thrown out.
Designated hitter, number 24, Caleb Blanchard.
So 1 away, and Dallin Blanchard will step in. Here's the first offering, and a fastball for a strike to Dallin Blanchard. 0-1. Blanchard 0 for 1 today with a walk. Came around to score on that walk back in the 4th inning. The 3-run 4th for Lethbridge. Off speed upstairs, missing, evens the count. 1-1. 18 pitches now for McKenzie through 8 in the 4th. Has now 10 in this 5th. Fly ball right field. Drifting back is Hampton, and he'll make the catch. 2 down here in the 5th. On the fly out to the right fielder, and so Bufford will be forced to stay at first, and up will come Jalen Ryan, the center fielder. 1 for 2 today. Singled and scored back in the 4th inning. Singled past the third baseman on a hard hit. Here's the first pitch, ground ball to third. Charging is Flores. Cross diamond, throw off the plate, off the bag rather. And safe is Ryan. And an error there to the third baseman. So Ryan aboard as the first baseman, Matthew Brandt, had to lean off the bag. And that allowed Ryan to hustle his way down the line, and with 2 away, runners at first and second for Lethbridge, and back to the top of the order for J.C. Spinoza. Spinoza 1 for 2 with a walk today. And a conference here by the umpires, and after the discussion, they uphold the safe ruling for Jalen Ryan. And so Spinoza, 2 on, 2 away in a 1-run ball game here in the bottom of the 5th. Matthew McKenzie will dig in to face the top of the order. Ground ball to the shortstop, chewed him up, and safe down the right field line. First base line is J.C. Spinoza, and will they rule that a base hit or an error? Looks like they're going to rule an error to the shortstop, Rowan O'Connor. So back-to-back errors. And the bases are loaded for the Bulls. And Lee Matsuzaki comes to the plate. The lefty. with 3 on, bases loaded, 2 away. McKenzie first pitch, fastball flared back to the screen, and a foul ball, 0-1. Matt Sazaki, 0 for 1, a couple of walks, has come around to score today twice. Fastball flared, a hot shot down the left field line, out of play. 2 home runs this season for Matt Sazaki. Has 5 RBI. No balls, 2 strikes for McKenzie. Here's the offering upstairs and outside. Looked like they tried to get Matt Sazaki to chase and didn't bite. Bases loaded. Bufford reached on a fielder's choice. He's at third, and then back-to-back errors for Ryan and Spinoza at second and first, respectively. Here's the 1-2 on the ground. Charging is the third baseman. With time, the throw in the dirt and a wonderful grab at first base by Matthew Brandt. That one was in the dirt from Jaden Flores, but Brandt dug in and scooped it up, and it saves a run. And after 5 complete, the Bulls leave the bases loaded in the bottom of the 5th, and it's Sylvan Lake 6, Lethbridge 5 here at Spitz Stadium. You're watching the Lethbridge Bulls of the WCBL on FloCollege. A 6-5 game here in Lethbridge after 5 complete as we go to the top of the 6th inning between the Sylvan Lake Gulls and the Lethbridge Bulls. Take a quick glance at the out-of-town scoreboard. Across the WCBL, 5 other games today. Scores at Medicine Hat and Weyburn, bottom of the 7th, tied at 2. Moose Jaw has come back to take a 3-2 lead on Brooks, top of the 6th inning. It is Saskatoon 5, Saskatoon 6, Swift Current 5. That one in the bottom of the 5th at Mitchell Field in Swift Current. It is 8-5 Regina. They lead the Fort McMurray Giants in the bottom of the 3rd. A lot of scoring there, and you talk about a lot of scoring. Okotoks has put up an 11 spot so far. They lead the Energy City Cactus Rats. Maybe one of the better names in all of sports. The Energy City Cactus Rats. 11-1 at Siemens Stadium. That in the top of the 4th inning. Here, it's 6-5 for the Sylvan Lake Gulls. They led this game at one point 6-0 after the first 2 innings, but 2 runs in the 3rd and 3 runs in the 4th have the Bulls to within 1 as we go to the top of the 6th inning, and a ground ball pulled past the third baseman on the first pitch seen by Rowan O'Connor, and he's got a base hit to open up the 6th inning on a hot shot to left. And the top of the order, Bryce Hampton will come to the plate, followed by Simon Baker, also due up in this top of the 6th. With Brett Getz on the mound, that's just the 2nd hit he's allowed in the relief performance to this point. And a fastball here turned on and missed by Hampton. Hampton 1 for 2 with a walk today. Has come around to score a couple of times. Singled and scored in the 1st, walked and scored in the 2nd. Struck out in the 3rd to close that inning. And they're going to check the run here, and trotting back is Rowan O'Connor for Sylvan Lake. O'Connor, 1 stolen base this season for Sylvan. Here's the 0-1 bunted, and that one pushed foul by Bryce Hampton. And so an 0-2 count now to the right fielder. Hampton batting .400 coming into the game today. Out of Bozeman. Pulled on the ground to third. They'll go to 2 for 1. Back to first, double play. Just in time. 5-4-3 double play. And 2 down here in the 6th inning.
Center fielder number 38, Sam Baker.
And so Simon Baker will stand in for the 4th time. First pitch and a strike in the zone, 0-1. That's a great defensive play by Will Turner. Charges, goes to second to Andrzejczyk, who relayed to Kaliski for the 5-4-3. Fastball on the inside corner for a strike, 0-2. Getz has been terrific after coming in to open up the 3rd inning in the relief performance for Gavin Allen. Has retired 11 of the 13 batters he's seen. And this fastball just missed on the upper outside corner. Should mention 10 of the 13 that Getz has seen that he's been able to retire. 2 hits allowed, a couple of strikeouts as he gets a 3rd. Rang him up to end the inning as Getz continues his marvelous performance out of the bullpen. And it's 6-5, the Gulls clinging to the 1-run lead. Bottom of the 6th we go, the Bulls to the sticks when we come back. You're watching the Lethbridge Bulls and the WCBL on FloCollege. Bottom of the 6th inning, we go here at Spitz Stadium, and the Lethbridge Bulls trail by a run as they send up Jack Kaliski to lead off this 6th inning. As Jack will lead off, Stephen Andrzejczyk and Will Turner also due up here in this inning so far. Kaliski will take on Matthew McKenzie for the 2nd time, and the first pitch off speed, upstairs and inside for a ball. 1-0 the count to Kaliski. Jack tonight 1 for 2 with a walk, couple of RBI. Turns on this one, ground ball to third, charging is Flores, the scoop and throw, 1 away. Good job by Flores to gather that and throw on the run.
Second baseman, number 8, Stephen Andrzejczyk.
And that retires Kaliski, so Stephen Andrzejczyk will stand in with 1 away here in the bottom of the 6th in a 1-run ball game. First offering, punched back up the middle, base hit for Andrzejczyk. He reaches after stumbling out of the box. But a 3rd hit for Andrzejczyk in this game, as that one up the gut grounded out to close the first. He's reached via base hit each of his last 3 times for Andrzejczyk, and now Will Turner will stand in. 0 for 2 with a walk tonight. This one falls in on an off-speed breaking ball. 1 strike for Matthew McKenzie. 0-1 count to Will Turner. Adonis Bernal is on deck. Here's the 0-1, and that one low for a ball. 1-1 the count. One ball, 1 strike, 6-5 ball game here in Lethbridge. Runner on the way, swing and a miss. The throw to second, bounces by the second baseman. And in safe is Andrzejczyk on the stolen base. And for Steven Andrzejczyk, that is his 3rd stolen base of the season. And a 1-2 count here to Will Turner. Runner in scoring position. 1-2, called strike 3. Good little, what looked like a curveball fell in there. And 2 away as Will Turner goes down looking. And for McKenzie, that is another strikeout. The 4th strikeout of the ball game for the Bulls. And the first strikeout for McKenzie. 0-1 count here to Adonis, the right fielder for the Bulls. This one fouled back to the screen, and a 0-2 count. Bernal was walked in the 2nd, grounded into an inning-ending 6-4-3 double play in the 3rd, and then was belted by a pitch to lead off the 5th inning. This is his 4th trip to the mound. McKenzie checks the runner. 0-2 inside, cut on, popped straight up. Flores in the 3rd baseman, and he'll grab the ball and retire the side on the pop-up to the 3rd baseman, Jaden Flores. So the Bulls strand a runner in scoring position, and after 6 complete here at Smith Stadium, it's Sylvan Lake 6, Lethbridge 5. You're watching the Lethbridge Bulls on the WCBL on FloCollege. Top of the 7th inning we go here at Smith Stadium in a seesaw battle here between the Sylvan Lake Gulls and the Lethbridge Bulls, the 2 top teams in the West Division. A 6-5 lead for Sylvan Lake as they send up Junior Garcia, followed by Brock Tiarina and Jaden Flores to open up this 7th inning. And Sylvan Lake leading by a run. And Garcia will stand in to face Brett Getz, who remains on the mound for the Bulls. There is some action in the bullpen just in case. Getz up to 48 pitches in his relief performance. And this one punched back up the middle, charging. Good throw, better grab by Andrzejczyk. A scoop and throw by the second baseman. One pitch, one away here in the top of the 7th.
Designated hitter number 11, Brock Tiarina.
And so Brock Tiarina will step in with one away here in the 7th. Tiarina tonight 0 for 2 with a walk. First pitch strike from Getz and an 0-1 count. Tiarina flew out in the first, reached on a walk and scored in the second, and then grounded out to close the 4th. This one dropped by Bufford, but a ball anyway, 1-1, the count. Gets in his 5th inning of work after Gavin Allen got the start, gave up the 6 runs in the first 2 innings, and Getz has been perfect since. This one a ground ball to the shortstop. Spinoza charging. Throw in time to get the runner Tiarina. And 2 down here in the top of the 7th. And 2 really difficult plays. One by the second baseman, one by the shortstop. The middle infield getting it done tonight in Andrzejczyk and Spinoza. And so Jaden Flores will come to the plate with 2 away for Sylvan Lake here in the 7th inning. First offering from Getz is a breaking ball missing inside. 1 ball, no strikes. Flores today has been on base twice, was hit, then singled, drove in 2, flew out to open up the 5th. This one inside with a fastball. 2 balls, no strikes for Getz to Flores. Brooks Bachman is on deck for Sylvan Lake. This is the second of what is 4 in a row for the Gulls on the road. Final of a 3-game homestand for Lethbridge. Ground ball to third, dropped, picked up, thrown offline, and the runner safe at first as Flores gets there. And will they charge an error, or will that be a base hit? They're going to charge an error to the third baseman, Will Turner. So Bachman will come on. That is the second error of the night for the Bulls. Sylvan Lake has been charged for 2 as well. They both came back in the 5th inning. First pitch to Bachman is a strike with a fastball on the outside corner. 0-1 the count. Flores reaching on the error to Turner on the dropped ball. Here's the 0-1. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. Getz with 4 strikeouts in relief. Bulls have 6 strikeouts as a staff tonight. Here's the 0-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. They'll have to tag him. They get the out, and the Bulls go to the bottom of the 7th, down by a run. 7th inning stretch in Lethbridge. You're watching the Lethbridge Bulls of the WCBL on FloCollege. Seventh inning stretch here in Lethbridge. And the classic Take Me Out to the ball game. A couple of Bulls players helping the crowd along in a 6-5 contest here at Spitz Stadium. Have to say, not bad. Bottom of the order, 7-8-9 due up here to lead off the seventh inning for the Bulls. Drew Bufford, followed by Dallin Blanchard and Jalen Rose in a 6-5 game. We've gone scoreless in each of the last 2 innings. Scoreless in the top of the 7th for Sylvan Lake, and a first pitch slapped to right, and that'll fall for a base hit for Bufford to open up the bottom of the 7th. And the Bulls in business, the equalizing run aboard. And so Dallin Blanchard will stand in now for the 4th time. He's 0 for 2 with a walk in the game. Bulls trying to complete the comeback. They were down 6-0 in this game to Sylvan Lake, but a pair of runs in the 3rd, 3 more in the 4th. Has it a 1-run game as this one slapped on, and line out to the shortstop as Rowan O'Connor made the grab. Bit of an unnecessary leap, but made the grab anyway, and so 1 down here in the bottom of the 7th. And Jalen Ryan comes to the plate. Has reached in his last 2 at-bats in this game. Last one via error in the 5th, singled and scored in the 4th. He flew out to end the 2nd, his first time up, and he squares to bunt here. And he lays down a perfect bunt, but it rolls foul down the first base line. It was great till the halfway point, and then it just trickled over the line, and so he'll have to go back with the 0-1 count. Leadoff man aboard, Drew Bufford. He's singled to right. 0-1 count here to Jalen Ryan, the 9-hitter for the Bulls. This one upstairs, a fastball missing, 1 ball, 1 strike. Ryan on the season batting .217 coming into the game today. Here's the 1-1, and that one in the dirt. Good grab by Garcia to hold it. And a 2-1 count for the Bulls center fielder. McKenzie still on the mound after Noah Zenkowicz had a pretty good outing as the starter for Sylvan Lake. Zenkowicz went 4 1/3. McKenzie came in the 5th. Here's the offering, and a swing and a miss, strike 3. And a punch out there, 2 away here in the bottom of the 7th inning. And that is the 2nd strikeout of the night for McKenzie, 5th for the Gulls. And back to the top of the order, J.C. Spinoza will stand in for the 5th time in this ball game as he cuts on the first one and fouls it back to the screen. And an 0-1 count. Spinoza walked in the 1st, singled and scored in the 3rd, struck out in the 4th, reached on an error in the 5th. 5th at bat of the game as he takes a fastball on the outside corner for a strike, 0-2. Good pitch there by McKenzie. And now Spinoza has to battle here with 2 gone and a runner on first. Down a run of the Bulls. 0-2, comebacker, hit the pitcher. Second baseman Bachman makes the throw to first and not in time. Called safe, great hustle by Spinoza down the line. And that keeps the Bulls alive here in the bottom of the 7th inning. And they rule that a base hit.
Right fielder number 10, Lee Matsuzaki.
So Spinoza, great hustle, and that will bring up Matsuzaki with 2 gone and 2 on. Runners at first and second. Ball on the ground. This one scooped. O'Connor flips it to second, and they'll get the put away there. 7 complete here at Spitz Stadium. It's the Sylvan Lake Gulls 6 and the Lethbridge Bulls 5. You're watching the Lethbridge Bulls of the Western Canadian Baseball League on FloCollege. A new pitcher for the Lethbridge Bulls as we go to the top of the 8th inning here at Spitz Stadium. And out of the bullpen is number 36, Lucas Wynn for Lethbridge. So Wynn comes into the ball game after relieving Brett Getz, who was terrific in his performance through 59 pitches. Only gave up a couple of hits. No runs allowed by Getz. So Wynn will look to follow Getz's lead here in the top of the 8th inning. And Lucas Wynn will face the 7, 8, 9 hitters for Sylvan Lake. Brandt, Fung, and O'Connor due up here in the 8th inning. In a 1-run game, Sylvan Lake leading by a 6-5 count. As Wynn will look to hold the score. Is it Wynn? They announced it as Lucas Wynn. But I'm wondering if it's number 38, not 36. No, it is 36. My eyes deceive me. So Wynn indeed in. And Matthew Brandt will lead things off here in the top of the 8th inning for Sylvan Lake, followed by Matty Fung and Rowan O'Connor. Wynn ready's first pitch, fastball, hit the dirt before the plate, 1-0. Tried to rear up and blow up by him to start. Brandt today 2 for 3. Fastball at the knees just below, and 2 balls, no strikes for Wynn out of the bullpen. Six-5 Sylvan Lake in front. Off speed for a strike, 2-1. Bit of a smoky night here in Lethbridge. As an off-speed pitch outside, 3 balls and a strike. The breeze, normally westerly wind in Lethbridge. We've kind of seen everything tonight. We've seen moments where there's been not much of a breeze. We've seen the breeze in from the ballpark, and we've seen the breeze out of the ballpark. kind of settled here in the 8th inning as a foul tip there by Brent to run the count full, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Matt Ben, the home plate umpire tonight. Cam Hampton at first, Cody Nelson at third. 3-man crew. As Drew Bufford will get set to give the sign to win with a full count. Top of the 8th inning in a 1-run game. 3-2 pitch. Cut on and fouled back by Brandt to stay alive. And the count remains. Bulls and Gulls will face tomorrow in Oyen. Here's a 3-2 pitch in the air, drifting back foul, buffered to the fence, and that one lifts out of play. This is the final of a 3-game homestand for Lethbridge. And the first of 8 meetings between the Bulls and the Gulls on this season. Here's an off-speed pitch upstairs, missing, and that'll be a leadoff walk for Lucas Wynn. So the leadoff man aboard, Matthew Brandt, the first baseman, and so now Matty Fung will make his way to the plate. Sylvan Lake, as mentioned, will play in Oyen tomorrow, and then they'll go back to Okotoks to face the Dogs on Tuesday before returning home to face Lethbridge on Wednesday. Check the runner. Sylvan Lake in a stretch of a bunch on the road. Here's a foul tip, or a tip rather, back to the pitcher, and the throw to first is 1 down. Runner advances to second.
Shortstop, number 16, Rowan O'Connor.
So 1 away for Rowan O'Connor at a single his last time up. (13 of 15 for Sylvan Lake on the road. Heavy road schedule to start for Sylvan Lake. Then they'll have an extended homestand after. A 9-gamer from June 24th to July 4th. Here's the 0-1, and that one looked good, but called ball. 1-1 for Lucas Wynn. Runner at second, 1 away. Rowan O'Connor at the plate, he's 1 for 2. Couple of strikeouts and a single last time up. Wynn checks the runner, big lead. Here's the 1-1, cut on. And did he check? Yes, he did for a ball. 2-1 the count now. Are they going to appeal? They do, but upheld. So 2 balls, 1 strike. Top 2 teams in the West Division battling here on a Saturday night. Gulls are 5-3 leading the way. Bulls 4-3. A win would match Sylvan Lake's record coming in as a ground ball foul down the left field line. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Mentioned the 8 meetings. They'll meet again on Wednesday. The next time Sylvan Lake is in Lethbridge will be July 12th and 13th. That'll be their last trip to Spitz Stadium. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Waved at an off-speed pitch from Wynn, and 2 down as O'Connor strikes out for the 3rd time. 8th strikeout of the night for the Bulls. First for Lucas Wynn. And back to the top of the order, Bryce Hampton will stand in. Runner at second is Matt Brandt. He reached on a walk to lead off the inning. First offering and a off-speed pitch fouled back by Hampton, 0-1. Hampton 1 for 2 with a walk tonight. A couple of runs scored. Last time up, he grounded into a 5-4-3 double play. Here's the 0-1. Low for a ball, 1 strike. Hampton singled in the first and scored, walked in the second and scored, struck out in the third, and then the double play 5-4-3 that he grounded into in the sixth. Here's the 1-1. Low for a ball as Matt Ben makes the call, close call there at the knees. Win readies, 2-1 pitch, and that one surely a ball. 3-1 count on a fastball low and away in the dirt. Open base at first, and a 3-1 count here for Hampton. Simon Baker on deck. Inside, and that's a walk for Baker. For Hampton, his second walk of the night. And so Simon Baker will come to the plate for his fifth trip as Josh Bergman, the Bulls pitching coach, will make his way out to the mound. Have a conversation with Lucas Wynn. And I think, are they going to make a call to the bullpen? There is some action out there. The door, however, has not opened yet. And they're going to hope that Wynn can get out of this as Bergman will head back to the dugout. Bulls on a 4-game win streak coming into this game. They started the season 0-3, rattled off their last 4, sitting 4-3 on the year. Started to get some bodies and starters in after the start of the season. Here's the first offering to Simon Baker, and outside for a ball, 1-0. That's the interesting thing about the Western Canadian Baseball League. A lot of teams won't have their full complement of players to start the season, and then you get to the playoffs in August and guys start to trickle away for college. As the playoffs progress, is a ball in the air flown to left end, an easy play for Adonis Bernal, and the Bulls get out of it. Top of the 8th, Lucas Wynn gets the flyout of Simon Baker, and after the top of the 8th inning, it is still standing up, 6-5. Sylvan Lake leads Lethbridge. Bottom of the 8th we go next. You're watching the Lethbridge Bulls of the WCBL on FloCollege. New pitcher for the Sylvan Lake Gulls as we go to the bottom of the 8th inning here at Spitz Stadium in a 6-5 lead for Sylvan Lake is Leroy Taveras. Out of the bullpen for Sylvan Lake, the Snyder, Texas product, making his first appearance of the season for Sylvan. Third pitcher of the night for the Gulls.
For Sylvan Lake, now in the game pitching is number 34.
And Leroy Tavares will get set to take on the heart of the order. Jack Kaliski, Steven Andrzejczyk, and Will Turner will be up here in the bottom of the 8th inning with the Bulls down a run. And Kaliski will lead things off to open up the 8th, the home 8th. A lot of runs early, not a lot of runs late. Gulls had 6 runs in the first 2 innings, the Bulls 5 in the next 2, and now we've gone 3.5 without a run. Bulls looking to change that and draw even here in the 8th with Kaliski set to dig in for the 5th time tonight. Third pitcher, of course, that he will face in a 1-run ball game. And the first offering from Leroy Tavares is a high heat inside, and Kaliski just leaned out of that. And a ball 1-0. That one had some mustard on it, all the way to the back fence. So a 1-0 count for Tavares. Second offering, fastball, low at the knees. 2 balls, no strikes to Kaliski. Jack tonight had a 2 RBI single back in the 4th. Walked in the 3rd, flew out and ground out, as well as this one cut on and pushed foul down the right field line. Kaliski flew out in the 1st, had the walk in the 3rd, single for a couple of RBI in the 4th, and grounded out his last time up in the 6th to open up that inning. Here's the 2-1 from Tavares on the ground, up the gut. Charging to the left is O'Connor. With time, makes the throw to first, 1 away. Great range by Rowan O'Connor to get across to his left. And on the fly, pivot to throw to first. And a good grab by Matthew Brandt. 1 away. That is terrific athleticism by the Sylvan Lake shortstop. And now Steven Andrzejczyk will step in. First pitch cut on, and that one flared off the screen. 0-1 count. Can hear a train in the distance here at Spitz Stadium. As a ball up and out, 1 ball, 1 strike. One, called strike, 1-2 count. Andrzejczyk has reached his last 3 times up. He grounded out in the 1st, but has reached on single each of the last 3 times. This one, a foul tip back to the screen. Keeps the count at 1-2. Andrzejczyk with 3 RBI tonight. Had 2 last night, 5 in the last 2 games for Andrzejczyk, the product of Kalispell, Montana. About a 3.5, 4-hour drive from Lethbridge as a ball on the ground to second. Scooped by Bachman with time, 2 away. Bulls are now down to their last 4 outs in this game. As Will Turner will come to the plate for the 5th time. A ground out of Kaliski, ground out of Andrzejczyk. 2 up, 2 down. Off speed, breaking ball, and a strike there. 0-1 from Leroy Tavares. Tavares readies. 0-1. In the air, fly ball right field. All the way to the wall. That's going to fall up against the wall. Getting it in quickly is Hampton. Racing to second is Andrzejczyk, and Will Turner, and he reaches on a stand-up double. A 2-out stand-up double. And Will Turner gets the equalizing run. Halfway there, and into scoring position for Adonis Bernal. That is the first hit of the night for Will Turner. And now Adonis will ready.
Number 19, Adonis Bernal.
Second year with the Bulls for Bernal. Batted .291 during the regular season last year as he takes an off-speed here for a ball 1-0. 45 games a year ago for Adonis. 6 home runs, 31 RBI. Batted .222 in 2 playoff games last season in the loss to Okotoks for Lethbridge. Here's the 1-0 count and a fastball framed up nicely by Junior Garcia for a strike. And a 1-1 count for Bernal. Here's the 1-1. Swing and a miss, some high heat there. And a 1-2 count. Bernal disappointed with himself there. That was a home run pitch that he missed on. 1-2 count. Runner at second. On the stand-up double for Turner. And a swing and a miss, strike 3. Leroy Taveras gets the strikeout. And 8 complete here in Lethbridge. A 6-5 game. We've gone 4 straight innings scoreless. What does the 9th have in store? We'll find out next. You're watching the Lethbridge Bulls of the WCBL on FloCollege. Top of the 9th inning we go here at Spitz Stadium, and another new pitcher for Lethbridge as Jacob Hagman will come out of the bullpen to try and hold the Sylvan Lake Gulls. We'll take a quick look at the out-of-town scoreboard as we get set for the top of the 9th here. Elsewhere across the WCBL, 5 of the games today. 16-1, Okotoks leading the Energy City Cactus Rats at Siemens Stadium. 10-10, Regina and Fort McMurray. It is 9-5 Saskatoon over Swift Current. 5-5 Medicine Hat home to Weyburn. That one top of the 9th. And in the top of the 8th, it is the Moose Jaw Miller Express. Say that 10 times fast. Leading the Brooks Bombers 7-2 as Jacob Hagman will come on out of the bullpen. 4th pitcher of the night for the Bulls, and he'll be tasked with Junior Garcia, Brock Tiarina, and Jaden Flores, the 3 expected batters for the Sylvan Lake Gulls, who will look to try and add to their lead here at Spitz Stadium. And the first offering from Hagman is a fastball upstairs, 1 ball, no strikes. So the Bulls looking to try and keep Sylvan Lake at bay as Hagman readies, and that one a strike called on the outside corner. Hagman this season, 2 other appearances, has a total of 3 1/3 innings worked, has flared right, and charging was the second baseman. Couldn't make the play by Andrachik, and the leadoff man aboard on a base hit for Junior Garcia's into shallow right. And so a pinch hitter here for the Sylvan Lake Gulls. And hitting in place of Brock Tiarina will be number 14, Jimmy Pelche. So Pelche will stand in a pinch hitting opportunity and cuts on the first pitch and flies it out of play. Pelche, product of Montreal, Quebec. Coming into the game today, batting just 100 on the season, but has a couple of RBI. Squares the bunt here and pulls it back. And a pitch upstairs for a ball, and Drew Bufford didn't like that call from the first base umpire, Cam Hampton. Pelche batting in place of Tiarina in the designated hitter spot. Here's the 1-1 from Hagman, and a strike on the outside corner called. Pelche, 2 RBI this season in his 10 at-bats. Turned on, ground ball. Charging is the pitcher. Flip on the backhand, and they got him. Great work there by Hagman to jump off the mound, charge the dribbler up the right, up the first base line, and an underhand toss to Kaliski for the first out.
Third baseman, number 7, Jaden Flores.
Runner advances though, and now Jaden Flores will come into the game as Pelche retired. First offering, and a fastball. Check swing, and appeal no success. So a 1-0 count to Flores. Flores has been on 3 times as he swings over this one, 1-1. Was hit in the first, had an 2 RBI single in the second, flew out to open the 5th and reached on an error his last time up in the 7th inning. Here in the 9th, and a 1-run game. Gulls looking for some insurance here. Grounder, and that one foul tipped. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Hagman, 4th pitcher of the night for Lethbridge. Allen started. Brett Getz went most of the way. Lucas Swin last inning, and now Hagman here on the top of the 9th. Off speed, misses upstairs, didn't break. Kind of just hung up there outside the zone, 2-2. Last time Hagman pitched, he went an inning in a victory against Swift Current back on June the 4th. So a couple of days rest between appearances. Here's the 2-2, pulled on the ground, and that one past the third baseman. Charging home is Junior Garcia all the way to the corner. Gulls have an insurance marker as Jaden Flores, an RBI double to make it 7-5 for Sylvan Lake here at the top of the 9th. Hard hit ball down the line. Will Turner couldn't get a stab at it. And in comes Garcia. And Lethbridge now down by 2. And up to bat now is another pinch hitter.
Number 24,
Yes.
Macros.
First offering is outside for a strike. Aiden Macaris is the pinch hitter for Brooks Bachman. That one low from Hagman. 2 balls, no strikes. This one high and upstairs runs the count to 3-0. Fastball called strike. 3 balls, 1 strike for Macris. Runner going. Pitch in the dirt dropped. And did he get a foul tip on it, I think? Macris is going to have to come back to the plate. 3-2 count. Stolen base, though, for Jaden Flores. So he's at third now. 90 feet away from making it a 3-run game. As Macris stands in with a full count. Batting .208 this season. Full count, and that one misses outside for a ball, and so a walk now. Runners on the corners for Sylvan Lake. So the leadoff man, Junior Garcia, reached on a single and came around to score on a double by Jaden Flores. Josh Bergman out of the dugout again to have a conversation here with Jacob Hagman. 2 hits and a walk. Has surrendered a run here in the top of the 9th to make it a 2-run game for Sylvan Lake. And you don't want to give up any more. Bulls, bottom of the order, 7, 8, 9 hitters due up in the bottom of the 9th. 7-5, Sylvan Lake leads it.
First baseman number 18.
Looking for their 6th victory of the season. They had 44 last year. Just a model of success since coming into the WCBL. As a pitch here outside misses. Good hold there by Drew Bufford. Sylvan Lake 44-12 last season to lead the West Division. Here's a ball in the air and drifting out of play. In fact, Sylvan Lake led the entire WCBL last season during the regular year. Here's the 1-1 from Hagman. Runner on the way. The throw not coming with a runner at third, and so they concede the stolen base to Aiden Macris. And so runners at second and third, only 1 away, and an open bag here. 2-1, flared to the screen, and a 2-2 count now for Matt Brandt. Matty Fung is on deck. Brandt tonight, 2 for 3 with a walk, has been on 3 times. 2-2, framed but didn't get it. Count full, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Fans restless with that call from Matt Ben, but a close one on the outside corner. Full count. Hagman delivers. And that one punched foul down the first base line to stay alive for Hagman. Three balls, 2 strikes. Hagman readies in the dirt, and that's going to walk home a run. Or no, sorry, open bag down at first. So now the bases are loaded. And Ryan McDonald is going to go to the bullpen as the Bulls manager and head coach out of the bullpen, and that will do it for Hagman. After back-to-back walks. And so Hagman throws 25 in a third of an inning. And so another pitcher for the Bulls out of the bullpen in a 2-run game here in the top of the ninth with the bases loaded and Lethbridge trailing. And I believe it looks like Hunter Jones will make his way, Samuel Herrera for Lethbridge. So Herrera inherits the bases loaded. And some work to do both defensively and offensively for the Bulls to try and extend their win streak to 5.
Samuel Herrera.
So Hagman out, 25 pitches in an inning, 1/3 of an inning. And Matty Fung, Rowan O'Connor, the next 2 batters for Sylvan Lake. Only one away here in the top of the 9th inning. Herrera coming into the contest tonight for Lethbridge from Panama City. This will be his 3rd appearance. Sports a 4.50 ERA in the 2 innings of work that he has had. Pitched 2 nights ago against Energy City in the
Bases loaded.
victory
One out.
over the Cactus Rats.
Batting for Manny Fung is number 12, Noah Cummings.
And so a 3rd pinch hitter for Sylvan Lake in this 9th inning as the first pitch is a strike, 0-1 to Noah Connings. So Connings in for Matty Fung. With the bases loaded, 0-1 pitch, turned on, ground ball, 3rd, 2nd for 1, to 1st, double play, and the Bulls get out of it. They surrender a run, but hold it to just 1. And they'll have some work to do in the bottom of the 9th inning, down 7-5 to the Sylvan Lake Gulls. We'll take a break, come back for the bottom of the 9th next from Spitz Stadium. You're watching the Lethbridge Bulls of the WCBL on FloCollege. Bottom of the 9th inning we go here at Spitz Stadium. And defensive replacements for Sylvan Lake as Bryce Hampton comes in to 2nd. Looks like Macris out to right. And the Bulls, an opportunity to try and dig into the Sylvan Lake lead and keep their night alive. Final sticks, Drew Bufford, Dallin Blanchard, Jalen Ryan expected up. And the first offering from Leroy Tavares to Drew Bufford, the catcher, is outside for a ball. This one flared back, 1 ball, 1 strike. Looks like Carter Clairhout is on deck. He will pinch hit for Jalen Ryan. Or pardon me, Dallin Blanchard, who was the designated hitter. Here's a 1-1 pitch. And that one outside. 2 balls and a strike. Bufford waits. Check swing, foul tip. 2-2. Bufford had a single his last time up. That was in the 7th inning. Two balls, 2 strikes. Tavares deals inside high. Did it catch him? Bufford took that high heat, and I'm not sure it hit him. Boy, I don't know how you duck out of the way of that, but it's a full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes. That's as close as it comes. So a full count for Tavares. 7-5, Sylvan Lake leads. In the air, fly ball to center. Backing up is Baker, and 1 down. Bufford put a little bit of stank on that, but inside breeze to the ballpark didn't help him any, and now Carter Clairhout will come to the dish as a pinch hitter. And the Bulls down to their final 2 outs in this ball game, trailing Sylvan Lake 7-5, and their 4-game winning streak in danger of coming to an end. Sylvan looking for their 2nd straight win after a 3-game losing streak was snapped last night in Okotoks. First pitch to Clairhout, takes a strike on the outside corner with a fastball from Leroy Tavares. Clairhout can mash it. Tavares 0-1. Check swing, but a called strike. 0-2. Clairhout batting .462 this season. In 7 games. This one in the dirt. 1 ball, 2 strikes. In 8 games last year, Clairhout, before, if memory serves, suffering an injury, batted .480. This year he's 12 for 26, 5 walks, as well 2 home runs and 7 RBI. Here's the 1-2, high and outside, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Clairhout batting in place of Dallin Blanchard, the designated hitter. Here in the bottom of the 9th, down 2 are the Bulls. 2-2 pitch. Outside again to run the count full. Three balls, 2 strikes. To Clairhout. Payoff pitch in the dirt. That'll be a walk. Clairhout aboard on the base on balls. And now Brennan McTavish will pinch hit for Jalen Rose. Jalen Ryan, I should say. Not Jalen Rose. He was a good basketball player, though. So McTavish takes the first pitch for a ball, 1-0. Brennan, the Lethbridge product. 192 batting average this season, takes a pitch for a strike. That one looked well outside. But a 1-1 count. One cut on and missed by McTavish, wearing Nick Anchorman's old number 5. 7 games this season for McTavish. 192 average, 9 strikeouts already. Here's the 1-2. Strike 3. That one watched it go by him. And now the Bulls down to their final out with 1 on, 2 away. And JC Spinoza, the shortstop, top of the order, will come to the plate. Second strikeout of the night for Tavares. 7th time the Bulls have been rung up. First pitch in the air, fly ball, drifting foul down the right field line and out of play. 0-1 the count to Spinoza. Spinoza has been on base 4 of the 5 times that he's been up. A walk, couple of hits, reached on an error, 1 strikeout back in the 4th inning. Here's the 0-1, fouled back. And now, battle mode. No balls, 2 strikes. Gulls leading, 7-5. We didn't have a run scored in the in the 5th, 6th, 7th, or 8th. 1 run in the top of the 9th for Sylvan to open up in a bit of insurance. Here's the 0-2. To center, a base hit. Just got past the second baseman, juggled by the center fielder, but a base hit here, and the equalizing run is aboard. That one just got past the glove of Bryce Hampton at second base. And now Lee Matsuzaki has an opportunity here to try and get the Bulls a run. Runners at first and second. 2 away, and a meeting on the mound now for Sylvan Lake. A slapper to center for Spinoza. Claerhaut's aboard. He is at second with his walk. And a long conversation here will be cut short by Matt Ben, who makes his way to the mound.
Everybody clap your hands.
And Lee Matsuzaki will bat now. Jack Kaliski is on deck. Do the Bulls have a bottom of the 9th heroic comeback to extend a winning streak? Down 7-5, Matsuzaki stands in for the 6th time. First offering is outside for a ball 1-0. Trying to see if he would chase twice. Matsuzaki has walked, 2 fielder choices, and a fly out in the first. 1-0 ahead in the count. Fastball, strike on the outside corner, 1 ball, 1 strike. Fans didn't like it again. 1-1. Ready is Tavares, the offering. Pulled on, off the tip of the glove. 1 run will come around to score. Ball all the way to the mound. Second run comes in to score. A double for Matsuzaki has tied the game in the bottom of the 9th. It's 7-7 in Lethbridge. A 2 RBI double for Lee Matsuzaki. And this game is tied. That just grazed the glove of the second baseman. And they're going to automatic walk Kaliski. So he takes a base on balls. That will bring up Steve Andrzejczyk. Runners at first and second. Andrzejczyk with 3 RBI tonight. A fourth would win it. First pitch inside from Tavares, a ball 1-0. That one grazed the corner. Andrzejczyk, 2 walks, had a single for an 2 RBI, ground ball to third, flip to second, and that will end the 9th inning. But a double produces 2 runs to tie it at 7. And we will go to extra innings here at Spitz Stadium. It's the Sylvan Lake Gulls 7, the Lethbridge Bulls 7, top of the 10th next. You're watching the Lethbridge Bulls and the WCBL on FloCollege. A tie ball game after 9 complete innings here at Spitz Stadium between the Lethbridge Bulls and the Sylvan Lake Gulls. I said it going into the bottom of the 3rd inning. In my time, 10 years in the WCBL, I've seen a lot of 6-0 leads evaporate. And here tonight, again, we've seen another one. Sylvan Lake led 6-0. The Bulls scored 5 runs combined in the 3rd and 4th. Go all the way to the 9th inning. Sylvan Lake gets an insurance marker in the top half of the 9th to make it 7-5, but a double producing 2 RBI for Matt Sasaki in the bottom of the 9th has extended it to extra innings. And so to the 10th we go. And for the Sylvan Lake Gulls, the shortstop Rowan O'Connor will stand in. 1 for 4 tonight with 3 strikeouts in a 7-7 ball game. And remaining on the mound is Herrera for Lethbridge. Samuel, 2 pitches needed in his appearance out of the bullpen last inning. And a bunt square for O'Connor. A runner starts at second in extra innings for the WCBL. So immediately a runner in scoring position. Of course, tries to speed up extra innings and produce some runs. And another square bunt pulled back. This one a strike though. 1 ball, 1 strike to Rowan O'Connor. So the last man aboard will stand at second. That was Connins. And a bunt there, pulled back but foul. And a 1-2 count to O'Connor. Here's the 1-2 in the dirt. That'll even the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Noah Connings is at second. He is the runner there. Here to open the 10th in a 7-7 ball game. 2-2 pitch. Strike 3 called. An off-speed breaking ball. And O'Connor goes down looking. And for Herrera, his first strikeout of the night. And the 9th punch out for the Bulls as a staff. And Bryce Hampton will come to the plate, top of the order. His 6th appearance tonight. 1 away, runner at second. First pitch on the ground. gets to the shortstop, and he'll hold. No throw from Spinoza. Smart play with the runner at second. And so Bryce Hampton aboard with an infield single. So Connings at second. And Hampton at first, one away. And Simon Baker will stand in. Fly ball high in the air, drifting to left field. Backing up is Adonis. And Bernal will make the catch and throw it in quickly, holding the runners at first and second. 2 away. And now Jimmy Pelche, or pardon me, Junior Garcia will come to the plate.
Catcher, number 35, Junior Garcia.
Here in the top of the 10th inning, a 7-7 tie, with the Bulls tying it in the bottom of the 9th inning. Samuel Herrera, runners at first and second, first offering, and a strike called there to Garcia. 9 strikeouts tonight for Lethbridge as a staff. Here's the 0-1 in the dirt. That'll even the count. 1 ball, 1 strike. Garcia singled and scored in the top of the 9th inning. Had a sac fly RBI in the first, struck out, flew out, and grounded out in between. 1-1 inside, and a breaking ball that didn't break. 2 balls and a strike. A 7-7 game, 11 hits each. Here's the 2-1. Fouled back by Garcia. Even count, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Lethbridge, next time they are at Spitz Stadium will be Tuesday when they welcome the Brooks Bombers here for their second meeting of the season. Brooks took the first one 6-4 back in the season opener. And a ball in the dirt here runs the count full, 3 balls, 2 strikes. And a full count for Garcia. Jimmy Pelche came in as a pinch hitter in the 9th, is on deck. Herrera, 1 strikeout. Looking for a second. Fly ball right field. To the right is Matt Sazaki. He's got time, settles under it. And the Bulls hold the Gulls at bay in the top of the 10th inning. And an opportunity for Lethbridge to win it in the bottom of the 10th. When we come back, you're watching the Lethbridge Bulls and the WCBL on FloCollege. To the home 10th we go here at Spitz Stadium in a 7-7 ball game. After the Bulls were able to tie the game in the bottom of the 9th inning on a 2 RBI double by Lee Matsuzaki. And to lead off the bottom and home 10th, it will be Will Turner, followed by Adonis Bernal and Drew Bufford due up. The runner will be Steven Andrzejczyk. He'll go to second. And the Bulls looking to try and complete the comeback to extend their win streak to 5 straight games and hand the Gulls their 4th loss in their last 5. And Will Turner will stand in to get things started with the runner at second base. First offering, bunt, squared, roller to first for 1. Runner advances to third, winning run 90 feet away. And now Adonis Bernal will have an opportunity to win it.
Left fielder, number 19, Adonis Bernal.
A sac fly would do it. Of course, a RBI base hit would do it. We'll see what we have in store in a 7-7 ball game here at Spitz Stadium. Leroy Taveras on the mound. First pitch is high and inside, and Adonis brushed back. 1-0 the count to the Bulls. Right fielder has not reached via base hit today. He was hit by pitch and walked. This one a hot swing and over top of a breaking ball up in the zone. 1 ball, 1 strike to Bernal. Drew Bufford is on deck. The Bulls catch it here in the bottom of the 10th inning. 42 pitches for Taveras, now in relief. This one inside and didn't make contact with Bernal, so a 2-1 count. Bernal struck out his last time up. Walked in the second, was hit in the 5th. That one rang him right in the helmet. Here's the 2-1. Foul back. That one hot off the bat. Into the screen. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Bernal looking for the game-winning RBI. Would be his first RBI of the season. This one a swing and a miss upstairs. They got him on the 2-2 pitch. High and inside, and Adonis goes down on strikes. 2 away.
Catcher, number 17,
3rd strikeout for Taveras. Eighth time tonight that the Bulls have gone down via strikeout. And so with a runner at third, 2 away for Drew Bufford. First offering high and inside again. Taveras coming inside, trying to brush them back here in the 10th inning. 1 ball, no strikes. Fastball missed downstairs. 2 balls, no strikes for Drew Bufford. Carter Clairhout came in as a pinch hitter in the 9th inning. Is on deck. Two-0 pitch from Taveras off speed on the outside corner for a strike. 2-1. Matt Ben, the home plate umpire tonight. Cam Hampton at first, Cody Nelson at third. 2-1, swing and a miss. Upstairs, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Bufford turned on that one. Andrzejczyk is at third. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3 will go to the 11th. Tied at 7 at Spitz Stadium. This is the WCBL on FloCollege. Top of the 11th we go at Spit Stadium in a tie ball game, 7-7 here between the Sylvan Lake Gulls and the Lethbridge Bulls. Sylvan Lake held leads of 6-0 and 7-5. Lethbridge clawed into the lead, got it to 6-5 before a run in the top of the ninth for Sylvan Lake made it 7-5, and then 2 runs in the bottom half of the ninth made it a 7-7 game. Nothing produced in the 10th, and so we go to the 11th, and Jimmy Pelche
We have good news for the lady.
will lead things off for the Sylvan Lake Gulls, followed by Jaden Flores and Aiden Macaris, due up here in the road part of the 11th inning.
Top of the 11th inning.
And the same pitcher, Samuel Herrera, remains on the mound for Lethbridge. Runner at second, bunt squared to the pitcher. He stumbled, and reaching is Pelche. And they rule that a hit or an error. Runners on the corners regardless. And they give it a bunt hit, bunt single. So 1 on first, 1 on third. And Jaden Flores with runners on the corners will dig in. Doubled and had the RBI in the 9th inning. High fastball in the zone for a strike, 0-1. Herrera checks the runner at first. Ball in the air. Shallow center. Matsuzaki comes in, has to make a quick play, and he's going to hold the runner. Good backup there as the ball flies in for a hold of the runner at third.
Right fielder number 24, Aiden Macaris.
So 1 away with the fly out. And now Aiden Macaris will stand in. 1 away. Fastball for a strike to Macaris. 0-1 count. Top of the 11th inning here in Lethbridge, a 7-7 ball game. Runners on the corners for Sylvan Lake. Herrera, throw to second, skipped by the shortstop. Good backup by Andrzejczyk to hold, but the runner into second on the stolen base. And so now runners at second and third. First is open with Macaris at the plate in a 1-1 count. The offering on the ground, base hit, 1 run will score. Stop sign for the second, but the Gulls have the lead. Now a throw in, got through, and the second run's gonna score. And it's 9-7. And the runner advances all the way to third. A calamity of errors there. And the Bulls down 2 again in this game. First offering to Brandt is a ball 1-0. Macaris, I believe, will get credit for the single and an RBI. The second run scored on an error. And the Gulls have a 2-run lead here in the top of the 11th. 1 away. Here's a ball on the ground, base hit. A third run will score, and it's 10-7 for Sylvan Lake. An RBI single for Matt Brandt. And Sylvan Lake has a 3-run lead here in the 11th. 10-7. Still only one away with Noah Connings to the dish. And a runner at first. Ground ball, and that's a base hit. Runner to second, one at first, one at second. As that one just snapped by Carter Clairhout at first.
Shortstop number 16, Roland O'Connor.
Bottom of the order, Rowan O'Connor now stands in. This one on the ground to third, to second for one. Relay to first. Couldn't be scooped by Clairhout. Runner gonna come to the home plate, and a throw by Clairhout in will get the third out. Everything was happening at the top of the 11th. Sylvan Lake scores 3, and the Bulls will have to dig in again in the home 11th, down 10-7. We'll come back. You're watching the Lethbridge Bulls of the WCBL on FloCollege. Home of the 11th we go here at Spitz Stadium. A 3-run top half of the 11th inning for the Sylvan Lake Gulls to open up a 10-7 lead. And again, the Bulls have to play from behind here in the bottom of the 11th with Leroy Taveras still on the mound for Sylvan Lake. 50 pitches for him so far, and Carter Clairhout will dig in to lead off the home 11th, with Brennan McTavish on deck. Runner, of course, at second. That is Drew Buffer. And the first pitch missed outside for a ball, 1-0 to Clairhout. Came in as a pinch hitter in the 9th inning. 1-0, falls in for a strike with a breaking ball. 1-1 count to Clairhout. 10-7 ball game. Sylvan Lake in front. Bulls need more heroics here. 1-1, fouled back into the screen. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Clairhout, followed by Brennan McTavish and J.C. Spinoza, due up here in the 11th. Taveras checks, now delivers. Off the pitcher, knocked it down, gets it to first, 1 away. Great work by Taveras on the comebacker. That one looked like for sure it would be a base hit. But Taveras, alert, knocked it down, and then made the play to first for the first out. Bulls now down to their final 2 outs, as Brendan McTavish stands in for the second time. He came in as a pinch hitter in the 9th as well. And the first pitch to McTavish is outside for a ball, 1-0. McTavish this season batting 192. Good pitch there, catches the corner from Tavares, 1-1. McTavish last year appeared in 2 games as an affiliate for the Bulls, the Lethbridge product. This is his 8th appearance tonight as a breaking ball for a strike, 1-2. McTavish has struck out 10 times this season. Here's the 1-2 pitch, high and outside. Missed the catcher, and advancing to third on the wild pitch is Bufford, so he goes to third, and a 2-2 count for McTavish. That one just reared up and got away from Tavares. Two balls, 2 strikes. Bottom of the 11th, 1 away for Lethbridge. Here's the 2-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. McTavish again strikes out. Tenth time tonight. The Bulls have been punched out. McTavish now 11 strikeouts on the season. And top of the order, J.C. Spinoza. Down to the final out for the Bulls. Runner at third. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Tavares, 60 pitches in relief. Looking to get the victory and end the Bulls' 4-game win streak. And their perfect home record to go along with it. Off speed on the ground to the shortstop, deep in the hole. Big throw, not in time. 1 run scores. And it's 10-8. So Bufford came in to score. Spinoza gets a single and the RBI. And now the equalizing run again is at the plate in the form of Lee Matsuzaki, who tied the game in the bottom of the 9th. Runner on the way and an open take for Spinoza at second. Can Matsuzaki do it again? He tied the game in the 9th, looking to tie the game in the 11th. And a pitch on the outside corner with a strike, 1-1 to Matsuzaki. 2 RBIs, 2 runs scored for the right fielder tonight. Here's the 1-1, swing and a miss, strike 2. One ball, 2 strikes to Matsuzaki. Tavares looking to try and call game. 1-2 in the air, flied to the grandstand, or pardon me, the terrace. And a foul ball to stay alive. 1-2, the count to Matsuzaki. Had a double for 2 RBI in the 9th to tie it. A home run here would tie it in the 11th. Tavares, pitch number 66 on the way. 1-2, outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Spinoza, an RBI to make it 10-8. He stands at second after the stolen base, after the single. Tavares readies. 2-2. On the ground, past the third baseman. Spinoza gets the wave around. He comes in to score. Matsuzaki, another RBI. And the Bulls are back to within 1. It's 10-9 in the 11th. Spinoza came all the way in from second to score. And now a meeting on the mound, and it looks like the Gulls are going to go to the bullpen. So Leroy Tavares on the 67th pitch gives up a single which produced a run. And in a 10-9 game in the bottom of the 11th, the Sylvan Lake Gulls will go to the bullpen with Jack Kaliski due up. Kaliski has some oomph to it and has 2 RBI in this game already. Those came back in the 4th inning. Kaliski batted .307, had 7 home runs and 47 RBI last year in 48 regular season games for the Bulls. A tremendous season a year ago for Jack Kaliski, the San Antonio, Texas product. And the new pitcher for Sylvan Lake, I believe, is number 36, Mickey McCloskey.
Now in the game pitching, number 36, Mickey McCluskey.
It is Mickey McCluskey, as he will look to try and preserve the win for Sylvan Lake. Just the 4th pitcher for the Gulls in this game, as Tavares relieved, and McCluskey will face Kaliski. Say that 10 times fast. McCluskey against Kaliski. And if you can say it fast 10 times, you can probably take my job.
Run on first, 2 out.
So one last warm-up pitch for McCluskey. Or will it be more? Jack Kaliski thought he was ready to head to the plate. Lee Matsuzaki is at first. He reached on a single, had an RBI. And Jack Kaliski will stand in to try and tie this ball game or win it here in the bottom of the 11th inning. And Kaliski with 2 RBI in this game so far. Matsuzaki at first. McCluskey against Kaliski in the 11th. First offering is in the dirt well before home plate, and a 1-ball, no strikes count. Tying run at first, winning run at the plate. McCluskey readies. The offering, fastball for a strike, 1-1 to Kaliski. Jack Kaliski walked in the 9th, grounded out in the 8th, grounded out in the 6th, had a single for a couple of RBIs back in the 4th as they checked the runner, and Matsuzaki slides back in safe. 1-1 count here in the 11th. On deck is Andrzejczyk. One, fastball low, 2 balls and a strike. Talked about the year that Jack Kaliski had last season, had 7 home runs, 47 RBI, batted .307, had 62 hits, 17 doubles and a triple. Here's the 2-1. Check swing in the dirt, 3-1 count. They appealed and upheld by Cam Hampton, the first base umpire tonight. And so green light for Kaliski here in a 3-1 count. Here's the 3-1 pitch, and a fastball missed. And that's a base on balls. And the winning run now aboard. Matsuzaki goes to second, Kaliski to first on the walk. You're going to send in a pinch runner for Kaliski, I think. And Steven Andrachik will come to the plate, as it looks like Luke Wheatley will pinch run for Jack Kaliski.
In the game for the Bulls is a pinch runner. Number 9, Luke Wheatley.
So
Second baseman, number 8, Steven Andrechek.
Steven Andrachek with the tying run in scoring position. The winning run at first will stand in yet again. First pitch, big swing and a miss, strike one. Andrachek, 3 RBI in this game. He had 2 back in the third, followed it up with another ribby in the fourth. 10-9, Sylvan Lake leads in the bottom of the 11th. Here's the 0-1. Fastball for a strike at the knees. No balls, 2 strikes to Andrachik. The tying run at second, the winning run at first. Andrachik readies. McClaskey readies. 0-2. Outside for a ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Good take by Andrachik. Andrachik, 5 RBI over the last 2 nights for the Bulls. Had 2 last night and the 3 tonight. 1-2 pitch ready. McClaskey checks, delivers. Close, but a ball. The Sylvan Lake dugout came halfway out. They thought it was game. That's as close a take as you can get. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 away. Bulls need a run to tie it. McClaskey readies again. 2-2. That one called strike 3, and Sylvan Lake will hang on and win 10-9 in 11 innings. As Mickey McClaskey went back to the same pitch for the 3rd straight time, and it was 3rd time's the charm to preserve the win. And the Bulls' comeback falls up short here tonight. And their 4-game winning streak comes to an end. The Bulls now fall to 4-4 on the season. Sylvan Lake back-to-back wins after a 3-game losing streak. They improve to 6-4 on the season. These 2 teams will do it again, all again, tomorrow in Oyen. Bulls' next home game here at Spitz Stadium will be Tuesday when they welcome the Brooks Bombers. That'll be a 6:35 first pitch here on Tuesday, but what a night tonight. If you like baseball, if you like the WCBL, tonight was as good as it gets, unless you're a Bulls fan, with the Bulls coming up just short here this evening. 10-9, the final from Spitz Stadium. 7 more meetings between these 2 baseball clubs. If they're as good as the first one was, it should be a sensational season series. 10-9, the final.